buying
Yeah.
the whole unit.
Evening
But
all.
I'm gonna play with this one. Actually, I don't know if you can see it or not. I made a little cutout with my
Yeah.
logo,
Mm-hmm. Nice.
and that's that's that thin plywood.
Yeah. Did he cut it? You cut it out with that too, or?
Yes, I did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's I was pretty impressed with it. I think that cut in two passes.
Yeah. That's not that.
But I'm building a cabinet for it that I'll be able to adjust it. I'll be able to put tall vases in it if I want to,
Yeah.
and then engrave my signature or something in the bottom of it. That's the plan anyway. It looks like it's come together. So far, so good. I get it built. Maybe I'll send us some pictures on it to show you how I did it.
I've been thinking about trying to move into that area of doing it, but I'm debating it. I've got a vinyl cutter that I'm trying to set up now that I've had for about 2 years and haven't been using it. So I need to get it working first.
I also have a vinyl cutter, but I really seldom use it. I haven't used it. I think I first got it, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and I played with it for a few days, and that was it. I haven't got back to it.
What did you get it for? What were you going to use it for?
Well, I would just, if I wanted to cut some vinyl lettering or something, or basically to just cut, I don't know what, I didn't really have a plan for it, just being able to cut vinyl designs and stuff.
Well, I got it to be able for sandblast resist.
Oh, okay.
On turning,
Yeah.
being able to put a pattern onto my, in other words, put it onto my piece, sandblast it, and then either I guess you can airbrush and paint and everything else and use as a paint mask too at the same time, and then remove it, and then you get the contrast differences.
Yeah, you can do a lot with them, but I just got sidetracked and didn't get back to it.
Bill,
Well, I haven't had a good place to use it, and I just go ahead.
Bill, I had a question. I was late getting in. What kind of laser, what kind of power are you talking about? That one that you showed, kind of for that little medallion.
Oh, that was with a atom stack. It's called A5 Pro 40 watt.
Yeah,
it actually puts out 5.5 watts.
Yeah, that's the same ones I have.
Okay, yeah.
That I showed that last week.
I don't know if you were there or not, but I'm thinking about upgrading the head with it. If I had to look into it a little further, but NEJE makes it's about 14 or 15 actually output watts. It uses two lasers in the head, and that's how they get usually I think it's a 7.5, 2 7.5 lasers in the head, and which makes it, I don't know, 14, 15 output.
Yeah.
And I've watched some videos on that. They're cutting some serious depths with that. 3/8, ½ inch.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're getting close to CO2 power.
Yeah, I mean it looks awesome, and it's got a fine laser point. It's a square instead of a rectangle. I mean the specs on it, the videos I've been watching look pretty impressive, and you can get the head itself, a kit, for $249. Just the head, and I think that comes with a power supply. I'm not sure. I haven't got that far into that one, but I'm gonna see. I haven't used the one I have yet, the atom stack, enough to really get an opinion on whether it'll do what I want it to do or not. But I was kind of pleased with the first playing around with cutting that little piece of plywood and,
Is that a 3 mil or a 5 mil thick?
I'm guessing 3. It was actually a piece of plywood that was on the back of a entertainment center that I tore apart. And,
Okay.
and I just saw, see if it cut it, man, it went right through it. I mean, I was impressed.
Yeah, I wish the big box stores would carry the 3. All they carry is the 5 mil. And that's the one I showed, or people could have seen last week. And it's taking a fair amount of passes to go through 5 mil.
I think I went through that with 2 passes, and on this particular piece of wood. I was pleasantly surprised,
It's neat.
but I haven't done anything with it since, because I don't know if you were in there when I was talking. I'm building a cabinet for it. And so it's kind of in the process of setting until I get the cabinet built.
Dave and Dan, I'm gonna run downstairs for a second and look for some stuff. I'm out of my shop. Make sure you let people in if you would.
Will do.
Absolutely.
What's new on the website, Dave?
Website is doing pretty good, I think. I have to leave that up to other people to make a decision. I'm prejudiced.
Right?
It's doing all right.
I tell you, I think
Oh, it's crap. We need a new webmaster.
I think the website is fantastic. I can't believe the job you're doing with that. It's amazing.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
it's brilliant.
Quite the collection of information.
It's all coming out of the club.
Yeah, true. Hey, when do you want to do that earn volume demo?
Anytime. Last time I volunteered because I thought we had a lull in the conversation, and it'll take a little time, but
Right.
anytime at all that you want to plug me in there, happy to do it.
Let's do it on the 29th.
Okay, we'll do it then.
That'll work.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Ronnie.
Good evening, Ron.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing fantastic.
Good. So, how many people we got in the house tonight so far? Okay, I'll see it.
Yeah, about 14, 15 with you now.
Yeah, good.
Trey's here, but he had to run down to the shop for something.
Eddie's online yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. We're gonna have a special guest tonight. We're gonna have him on about 7 o'clock. And it's gonna be entailing everything to do with lasers. So
Wow.
hopefully everybody will enjoy what he has to say.
So we're bringing him on after Johnny's demo.
I think we're gonna bring him on before. So we'll have to see exactly how that works out.
Okay.
We keep having these discussions about lasers. I'm gonna have to go out and buy one. That's all there is to it.
Well, this
That's
man
really
is very knowledgeable about lasers, and he's also a wood turner. So he understands outside, and he's very knowledgeable about the lasers, and he'll be able to answer a lot of questions that people have about him on guidance. And he has a YouTube channel, and he's willing to come on and give us all his expertise. And I think we could show him that if we go to his site and hit that subscribe button, he would really appreciate that, you know.
Now, the last time I hit a subscribe button, it broke my monitor. Is it all right if I just tap it?
Yeah, right. That's all you have to do is push the button. So
Absolutely.
I want the laser I used to repair.
I'm sorry, what was that, Donald?
I want the laser that I used to repair.
Oh, okay. So you used to work on lasers?
I was an electrician and I used to do the repairs on this one.
Oh, okay.
But
So
it had cut through 1.5 inch plate steel
Wow.
okay.
so fast that you couldn't really see it moving.
Yeah, a lot of power on that then.
Oh, yeah. The gas tube, it was about 6 inches round and about 3.5 foot long.
Wow.
Oh.
And it had to have refrigerated water to cool it. You couldn't cool it with ordinary water.
For everybody that's not familiar with lasers, these lasers that we're fooling with is a diode laser. And what Donald's talking about probably, I think, is a CO2 laser. Completely different. And when you switch from a diode laser to a CO2 laser, you're talking about big bucks, you know? So these diode lasers are for the hobbyists, you know, so we can enjoy them at a good price, you know?
Right.
Oh,
Eddie,
you
you got a
cheap.
Eddie, you got a toupee on tonight?
I thought Donnie just like upping up the game for laser engraving with our pens.
There you go. That's what it's all about. He's very informative. So
Yeah.
you there, Edward?
Ronnie, I couldn't get my unmute to start. Yes,
Oh,
I had hair. I took it off just for the meeting.
I seen you with all of that blonde hair. I was wondering if you went to the beauty parlor or something.
Yeah, but they don't have to-go orders. So.
Oh, okay. I was telling everybody.
I like the headset, Ronnie.
How about that? I was telling everybody.
Flying around later or what?
Yeah, you know. So I was telling everybody. Telling everybody about our guest tonight, and Dean was asking me, was it going to go on before Johnny Hughes' demo?
And
I told him about 7 o'clock, and he agreed to that. So we'll have to see, and whatever the way it works out. So.
Be careful about making Johnny mad. He made some great sausage, and him and Trace. They would get and they packaged some sausage, and as soon as this is over, I'm heading that way.
Hey,
it was good. I busted open a package of the breakfast sausage and had biscuits and gravy this morning.
You tease you.
So y'all make pork sausage?
Well, it's pork butt and did breakfast sausage and Italian sausage, all from pork butt. Johnny is fully set up doing the sausage stuff, and he had enough sausage. He just did this to help for me to make sausage. So,
and he did it. He did it in his shop.
No, we do it in his kitchen.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say his shop is clean enough that you could make sausage in his shop.
Yeah, but you don't do that kind of stuff outside.
Good filler for your sausage.
Say again, Andy.
Sausage is good filler. One of my dad's buddies used to work in a butcher shop. I really didn't want to eat Braunschweiger and Jumbo after listening to his stories.
Whatever you do, don't remodel a grocery store meat market. You will become a veg in a moment.
I know. I worked for Giant Eagle, one of the grocery stores up here, for about 25, 30 years ago. We remodeled butcher shops in them, and it was not pretty.
Nope. My dad was a milkman, but one of his best friends was a butcher in a really exclusive area, and my dad would go pick up hog head cheese and pickled meat and things like that were developed in the back rooms. So,
Head cheese, scrapple, it's all good. I didn't like it. I like scrapple. I don't like head cheese or sauce.
Yeah, not a fan of head cheese at all.
No.
Yeah, back on the farm, we'd butcher 3 hogs every Thanksgiving and another 3 every Christmas break.
Wow. So you know all about scrapple and head cheese and sauce.
Oh boy. Innards, yeah. Your offala.
Mm,
Hey, we're using
Tikka.
good clean pork butt is all we're using. We're not digging into
Well,
the
we
crap.
just used every part of the pig.
Well, I realize that we're using pork butt only. Occasionally, they put it on sale for $1 a pound, and that's the time to buy it.
Yeah. My grandmother would do that too.
all the flavor can come out of fat you can collect. So you get pork butt and so you have to throw a little bit of veal in or whatever. And, you use the fat to stretch and also gets good flavor. And why do I know that?
It looks like you partook on some of that.
Yeah, I worked a year or two in a meat market when I was in high school.
It stuck with you.
Yeah. My dad always said it was a fallback career. I've never fallen that far back.
Oh, all a good jest.
Yeah. All right, we got two good demos tonight. Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy, is going to be joining us around 7 p.m. Central, and we're going to talk about laser engraving. A quick little session on it because, as I hear it, more and more folks are bending over to that way to artistically enhance their work. How do we do that? That's but we're looking to explain a little bit more. I got 2 or 3 programs on my computer, and I can't make it go right. Really, I do a whole lot of on-off switch in order to make it work. And I got a couple of mugs I turned that I'd like to put some names on, and one by Monday for my doctor. Got to mention, this is issue number 851 of Worldwide Woodturners. Issue 851. That means we've been alive 851 days since we started this operation. And every single day, that last 851, I've been involved with something with this club, really. And it's a godsend. It really is. I love it.
How did we get, Eddie?
Hey.
Eddie?
Yes.
How did we get to that number 851 when we were about 3 years old?
Well, I took the original date that we sent the email out for the meeting. And that's the first time we met Johnny Hughes, in fact. And we had the meeting at Piccadilly's. And that was 851 days ago. And I did that on.
Okay. 851 days ago, not 851 meetings.
Well, I was looking for you guys. You weren't there. So, hey,
Okay, I'm up with you now. I was thinking there wasn't that many weeks in 3 years.
No. Is there a boom mic with your headset? You have a mic?
Why, it sounds different?
Well, no, we can't see it. We see you from here up.
There we go. Whoop.
You sound more intelligent.
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh, no.
Billy.
You do.
Don't breathe that wheel.
I'm not saying that you were not as intelligent last week. I'm just saying you sound more intelligent.
Well, your check is in the mail.
Hey, Billy, maybe there's something wrong with your speakers.
I think so. I got to turn up too loud. Wait. That's good now. This is the best thing I ever got, these earbuds. Oh my God, dude. The microphone and everything in it is just so clear.
Yeah, they don't make earbuds for people with cauliflower ear.
Oh, they don't weigh anything, dude. They just hang in your ear. They don't stick in. They just sit there.
There's nothing for them to stick into.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about they just hang. They just hang on the ledge.
Just hanging out.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
There's no ledge.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't know
I
that.
got the same problem.
Bubble
Dave.
gum.
Rounded like a bowl bottom.
I knew how to
Bubble
keep
gum,
mine, but
Dave.
that blue painter's tape hurt when you pulled it off.
Right?
A little bit of Vaseline or bubble gum will keep it in there.
Vaseline? No. Bubble gum or duct tape.
There you go.
Get ones like that.
Definitely.
Little
Yeah,
dab of
that's a good one.
CA.
They just hang over your ears.
Excellent.
How about some 3208?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Just a little dab of CA.
Yeah, just charging them is gonna be awkward.
Hello, Miss Brenda.
Brenda's in.
Hi, Ronnie.
How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm all
Hey,
right.
Brenda.
Hey,
Hi,
Brenda.
Brenda.
Hey, Miss
Hi.
Hi,
Good
Doug.
afternoon, Miss
Brenda.
Brenda.
Howdy.
Kate, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. How are you?
Kate, I saw Cash propped up in the couch watching TV.
Watching the cat.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
watching the cat, okay.
Watching the cat. Yeah, it was
Oh,
funny.
it's-
The cat was there sleeping on his blanket and had no idea. I put Cash beside him until Cash grabbed him and he woke him up out of a dead sleep. That's why the cat's face was so shocked. But yeah, it was a cute moment. I watched him very closely to make sure he didn't go after Cash at all, but he was really good. So
We got the same deal with the grandkids. Same cat looks identical.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
What do
We
you
got
got
a
there,
cat.
Billy?
She retrieves. You can see that. Oh, this has nothing to do with wood turning. This is a laser engraved box. Not is it just a box. It was actually cut out with the machine. Yeah,
So those dados are cut, dovetails are cut
they're cut.
square on the machine.
They're cut. You know,
Yeah.
it was a learning curve, or I'm sorry, a learning curve. You have to determine what your kerf of your laser is, which is the same thing as a kerf on a blade.
Yeah.
You have to know what the width is. So when you go to fit these together, they fit snugly but not too tight. These are almost too tight. They're almost
Billy,
too tight.
what was your curve?
Well, I got a different machine now. Santa Claus brought me a different one, but my kerf on my new machine is 0.130. Very fine. It's a very fine 0.08 is is what they're saying the diameter of the laser is.
And what type of machine did Santa Claus bring you?
He brought me the I got to look at the name of it. X-Tool, the X-Tool D1. Yeah, it is a cutting machine. It's a diode laser, but it has two diode lasers inside of one, and they're using a mirror to collectively reflect those together and aim those together. So you have two 5 watts, and these are output 5 watts. Two output 5 watts. It's a 60 watt laser is what they call it, but it has two 5 watts that actually are focused together, and it has a 0.08 is the width of the laser beam. It does really well. I'm still trying to figure out that freaking software that's what's it called? Laser
Lightburn?
Lightburn. I'm sorry, Lightburn. Lightburn is very complicated. But
It's
I've been
an awesome software.
I know. I've been in it for the last 2 days, and I'm starting to learn. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of information. It's a big learning curve, but you can do anything with it. It's not just made for lasers. It's made for all kind of stuff. It just happens to interface with that laser. That's just, it's a standalone unit.
Billy, I don't know when you
Awesome.
tuned in, but I was saying earlier, we got a special guest on tonight, the Louisiana Hobby Guy. and he's located here in the New Orleans area. And
I
he's
wondered
gonna
that.
come, and he's gonna come on and inform us about lasers. He's very knowledgeable about these diode lasers.
I may have watched some of his videos already. I've watched so many that I can't remember all of them I watched.
He is an excellent teacher. I've been following him pretty heavy for the last week or so.
I have too.
He's got some awesome videos, and he explains things in detail. And when you listen to him, you walk away.
Yes, it's a gift. It's a gift. People that are like that, they can use a very few words, but they can get everything conveyed to you. Yeah,
The
it's a gift.
way he, you'll probably hear it tonight if he's on. He's great. He's probably a good guy I've listened to on the laser stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he puts it out there in common language, and then he emphasizes certain things, and he's fantastic. I couldn't recommend anybody better.
I've been watching Pawpaw's Workshop. Have you ever watched that?
No.
I think he's in Slidell, Louisiana, and he did this same laser recently, and he was showing light burn, how to set it all up, and I'm like, I watched his video today because I'm having some learning curve issues with the homing and the location and alignments, and there's I don't think like an engineer, so it's hard for me to understand what they're wanting to do, but I've got a handle on it now. I think it's kind of like working on a lathe. Repeatability is what you're trying to do. If you want to burn five things in a row, you want to be able to line it up exactly the same, and that's the thing I'm fighting with. It's just I don't have all the parts and pieces here yet, but oh, Doug, you're making me hungry, Doug.
When you start fooling with these diode lasers, you want a good friend that's knowledgeable on all this stuff, and I found a good friend that's been helping me out. So
I've been watching some of Buster Beagle too. Buster Beagle's got some good videos out there, and he makes some 3D printed aftermarket parts for a lot of these lasers too. In fact, I just put an air assist on it. I've got an air assist for the Niji I have not installed yet, but it came in. It was like $15 or something like that. It was very reasonable, and he just 3D prints it. You just get it like a little small aquarium type pump and some flexible tubing, and you're going to need some kind of little valve just to be able to control how much flow you have, because you can't get too much air. And it's just a little plastic piece that attaches to the side of the laser. Let's see if I can pull it out here and show it to you. This is the one for the Niji. I think it was $15 I paid for it. It's very generic. It's just a piece that it bolts to the side of the laser, and it's flexible. So you just flex it. The little hose just sticks in the top, and the air blows out, and you adjust it. I think they're saying somewhere around 40-degree angle is what you're shooting for. You're wanting this air to, now some of the more expensive ones actually will put the air around the laser itself, and the laser will shoot through the tip. This one shoots from the outside. So let's see if I'll show you what it would look like. It would be something like this. It would bolt to the side of the laser.
Pull it back.
I know, I'm just trying to get a hold of it and not drop it.
Okay.
But it would bolt to the side of the laser, and it would shoot down at 45.
Yeah, Bill.
Looks like quite the rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's just adjustable.
Yeah,
You're able to put it right where you want it, But that air assist makes it cut so clean and not have any scorched areas on top.
Yeah, Bill, there is a 3D print, one of those sides for attaching the hose to the 3D printer on the atom stack.
Yes, that's a different laser you're talking about?
Yeah, well, Bill, we were talking earlier, he had gotten the atom stack also. And I was just saying for him, if he didn't have or didn't know about it, there is one that will attach to the atom stack.
Oh yeah, I think this guy makes them for numerous different lasers. That one's a pretty generic one there. It just bolts to the side of it.
Yeah, you can go out to the different sites that have all the actual files to where then you can print one out.
I actually ordered that laser air assist, and I'm concerned about that. I actually took that off and made another one myself. It's all enclosed, and I'm concerned about it holding too much heat in there. I don't think that's going to have the airflow to keep it as cool as it should be. Now,
down where your laser is actually engraving, because
no, what it does, it has a cup that goes over the end of the laser.
That's
head,
right. That's right.
That cup looks like to me that it restricts the airflow coming down to keep that area cool.
Well,
and
you're trying to keep the head, the actual laser cool, and that's not down below.
Yeah, well, I think well, I took it off. I was concerned.
That's the way all the professional CO2 lasers and stuff. That's the way all of those are. Those are all built around that head, like you're talking about.
Okay. Well, this has a series of little holes right around the laser hole, and I just wondered. I don't know. I didn't throw it away. I still have it. I could put it back on pretty easy, but I made another one myself that looks like it's. So far, it looks like it's going to be nice. Looks like it's going to work well. When I get everything done, I don't think you were here when I got talking. I spent this week building a cabinet for it. When I get it done, I'll take some pictures and stuff.
That's what I'm starting on. I went and got my lumber today. It took me an hour to get one piece of plywood and get it out of the store at Lowe's.
Well, I tell you what I did. I went
Did
to.
you pay for it?
Yes.
Well, say if you just go through the cash register.
Actually, I went to.
I believe how long I was there.
I went to Goodwill and got an entertainment center. It's not a full entertainment center for $20. That gave me my case and some. Well, I'll get done. I'll show you some pictures.
Yeah, I've seen some people do some beautiful ones out of cabinets. You know,
well,
just use like a cabinet and turn it up.
For $20 at the Goodwill, I got probably $80 worth of wood in that thing if I had to go buy it in today's prices.
Did you order you? Did you order you a fan yet? Exhaust fan?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm making this a dual purpose. I have an airbrush that has an exhaust fan that I'm gonna. When I want to do airbrushing, I'll just lift out the laser engraver and put I've got a separate case that goes in for airbrushing. Okay. And both of them will use the same exhaust system.
Because I ordered my fan, it's supposed to be coming in, I think tomorrow, and I got 100 cubic foot per minute fan. I think that's going to be good for that volume. For that, it's a very small box, you know.
Yes, right.
But I'm building my cabinet. It's going to be about. I think I'm going to have about 3 inches all the way around the laser, you know, width wise, in case I decide to put anything else in there. And then I'm going to have a shelf below it. So the cabinet's going to be pretty tall. I'm going to have a shelf to store some items underneath, and I'm going to have a removable floor in it. So if I want to engrave something that's tall, I can drop that in. And I've got a rotary that's coming if it ever gets here. It's been a month.
That's exactly what I'm building right now. I've got a floor. I mean, another piece of wood, you know, to put in for flat stuff. And if I want to do bowls or vases, I just lift that out, and then I've got a shelf under there. But I'm also going to get that scissor jack.
Yeah, I've got that already. I've got it. In fact, it's sitting right here. I had been playing with it. That's the one I got. It's a little 8-inch one. Nothing special. I think I paid maybe $40 for it. And I just got a piece of wood. I just double-sided tape on top just to hold it on there.
You know, I ordered. I think it looks like that one, and apparently it's come from China because it says shipping. It's in March.
Yeah, see, this one came with a decal already on it.
Oh, get out of here.
Wow.
That looks like what I ordered.
Yeah.
It was about $40, $39 or something. I
So
think.
it seems to be well enough made to do what I want to do. I mean, I just don't want it to move around during the engraving process, and it doesn't. It seems to be solid.
That's going to set in the shelf below, which
Correct.
I got an adjustable shelf too. I got so I can.
Yeah,
move
that's
that
what was
shelf.
going through my mind. We're never going to get back to wood turning, but that's what I was going through my mind. I seen a beautiful video, and that's what's going through my mind. I want a separate shelf for storage, and I want a shelf for the rotary to set underneath, and then I want to be able to take the top piece out so I can make me a wasteboard that I'm going to put something equivalent to this type of design.
Yep.
You know, to be able to center items.
Well, it sounds like you're doing pretty much exactly what I'm doing now.
Yep.
No Zoom meeting, Thursday night, woodlasers.com.
One of the things that I've done, guys, is I've printed a grid. Like my laser sits on a base, and I've printed a grid on there, so I can wherever I start things, you know, I know right where the it's in a grid.
Yeah,
so,
I use that's what I got when I print. It's a small one. I want to do a bigger one. But this one, same thing. This wood came pre-labeled too. I don't know what's up with this kind of wood, but yeah. I don't know.
You got to buy it at Lowe's.
I got it before
spend
Ronnie
a lot
got
of time there to get it.
But that's all these lasers are different. You know, this one's got a learning curve. It doesn't have any what do you call it? Stop switches. There's another name for them, but this one doesn't have any stop switches on it. So if you run it all the way, limit switches. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah,
it doesn't have limit switches, so you got to be really careful what you do. But I found out that the trick to that is, and I've never knew how to do this until I got light burn. The trick is that the first thing you do is draw a square or rectangle on your paper the size of your work surface. So if your work surface is 8 by 10, you draw an 8 by 10 rectangle on your screen. That is your work surface. You mark that a certain color in light burn, and you do not engrave or cut that. So you turn it off, but you use it as a reference. Then you put all your work inside of it, and you keep that square or that rectangle in the center of the working area on the laser, and that keeps you out of trouble. But yeah, it's been quite a learning curve to figure out that. I thought I was going to break it because I kept hitting the stop, and I'm like, what am I doing?
That Lightburn is fantastic software. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. Just got to learn how to do it.
Well, I've got Corel Draw, and actually I like that the way that works better than the Corel Draw. It's fantastic.
But yeah, I'll eventually get back to wood turning.
Yeah. Oh.
But Matt, I did do a nice little. I was thinking about you when I did this little live edge goblet or whatever you would like to call it.
Nice. That works.
I call those fairy goblets. I love doing those.
Yeah, it's got a nice little bit of bark inclusion. It's Japan plum. I think it needs one more coat of finish on it though. It needs to be knocked back. But yeah, that's the only thing I've turned, you know.
What's your thinking on how you did the base and your base design? What were you thinking there?
I wasn't thinking. That's the beauty of it sometimes, is not thinking. That's what Dean says to do. To just let the wood tell you. And I started doing it, and I said I was limited by the size of it, by the diameter of the base. You know, I had a little more meat out here. But it's like I had to really stay away from the bark. It's hard to do because once you touch it, it's gone, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I try to hit it with super glue as soon as I get to that point.
I was just trying to keep my freaking chisel off of it, you know? Keep my bowl gouge off of it.
I hear you.
You ever watch Yamabiko on YouTube? He's a Japanese wood turner. He does these.
Oh my!
That's like a podlet that Greg Gallegos does.
So
have you seen those?
I don't think so. Greg Gallegos.
Damn.
Yeah,
wow,
Gallegos.
Yeah, I had a sailor named Gallego. Let me write that down. I'll have to look that up. Oh,
Yeah,
there's
he's
no
here
ink
in
that.
Michigan. He's here in Michigan somewhere. Greg Gallegos. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know what his website is, but
Is he on YouTube?
I don't know. He's kind of a recluse, but he's been teaching at Ron Campbell's hands-on event for the last 2-3 years. And one of the things he teaches is a podlet class that looks very much like the first piece you showed. And he bends them. He bends them in the microwave. So he turns them wet, and then he wraps them in a paper towel and sticks them in the microwave and bends them.
You can only turn that wet. I've tried dry wood. It won't work. You have to turn it wet.
Right.
I'll check him out. Thank you.
That's my next
take a look at, and the PODLETS, he calls what he does is podlets.
Okay. Well, like I said, Yamabiko is who I found. He's a Japanese wood turner. He doesn't speak English. He doesn't talk in his videos. But I want to tell you, if you want to watch a master turn, go watch his videos.
Cool.
His videos are amazing.
Hey guys, can't we put this in the chat?
Yeah, I could try. I'm having some connection issues tonight. If I can get my computer up on and in that way, then I will try to get it in the chat.
Yeah, I appreciate a link. Thank you, Matt.
Yep. Like I said, I'm having some connection issues tonight. I'm on my phone right now, so we'll see if I can get in.
I had a fellow turner on TikTok turn me on to Barbara Dill. I'll show you guys some things I've been doing later, but what a rabbit hole. Wow, she's a genius. That woman is amazing.
Yeah, I got to meet her. She came to Ron Campbell's this year too. I got to meet her in 2021. I got to meet her this year. So
awesome.
She's a trip.
Awesome. I'd love to just sit in a room with her and Cindy Drozda and just be a sponge.
Yep.
Seriously, just absorb.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of spending some dinners with her and Janice Levy and Karen Fritas and Sally Alt and a bunch of those folks were all out of the box thinkers. It was good times.
I went to SWAT a couple of years ago with a good friend, and he wanted to meet all those good turners, and Janice and a few others, and he knew the way to do it. We got to the hotel bar, and he said, "Everything at this table is on my tab," and nobody left. It was a great evening. It ran long.
Pick a small table.
But he said, I'm willing to pay for this, so bring the drinks. And it was a great time. That's when Janet Levy, I was president of the club at that time. That's when she taught me to joining SWAT, our club joining SWAT, which to me, it's a great move. If you can be part of the organization, it keeps growing and getting better. I just love it. I love it.
And Janice is very cool. I'm always amazed at her artistry, and I've taken a couple of lessons from her, like just watching. And she, some of the things she does, especially with white on her wood burning, is really cool. Really adds a lot to it.
Yeah, she's very talented, and shares it. I mean, it's not like it's my secret. I can't tell you about it. We're going to have Dave, the guy with the Louisiana, Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy, is going to join us at about 1:45, and we're going to get into that. And following that, we're going to go in with Johnny Hughes. He's over in Ocean Springs. He's got a demo lined up for us. We're going to have that. We're going to do a little gallery. In fact, as soon as, if you'd like to get in a gallery, right now, go to chat, type in, I have something for gallery. Dane Chandler is our gallery host, and he'll get you introduced, lined up, and we'll go to it. And looking forward to this. Is going to be a good, busy day. And we have demos booked up for the next couple of weeks. I'm getting a little pressure from our demonstration master as to when will I crank up my lathe for a demo. And today I went out into the shop, or with the remnants of the shop. I put off cleaning up one area till we get the equipment out, and the entire wall caved in.
Oh,
Ouch.
And there's probably 1,000 pounds of gear and equipment and stuff back there. I can't get to my pencil sharpener, like we sharpen pencils. I can't get to my nitrile gloves, but a guy that's in the club told me last week, he sent me an email. He said, give up on the nitrile gloves, get you some painter's tape. You just put a swat of painter's tape around your finger. And when you get done, it'll last all day. When you get done, you pull the tape off, throw it away. And you don't have to remember to keep putting the glove on. But I found that my wife had a roll. Damn it, you came and got it back.
She found it, you'd found it.
Wives do that.
I can't believe she got in here.
You stole it fair and square and she stole it back, huh?
Yeah, but you know, I'm the breadwinner. I mean, she's just managing it.
That's her tape, Eddie.
Yeah, well, and don't tell her she's just management. You can't live with it, or you won't live with it. Hey, if you're a new member to this organization, folks, you're very welcome to participate any way you wish, any way you want. You want to do a demonstration, we show something off. I'm looking at probably a dozen people on their cell phones right now watching this. We've had people do demonstrations with their cell phones. They're pretty good. You know, we got Dale. Dale does YouTubes with his cell phone, and it's really nice stuff. But if you want to participate, do so. Now, we do not have a membership list, and that is because we like to keep this fun and informal. That's why we have no money transactions. We're not sponsored. We're not affiliated. We're not, we're just here turning wood and talking about it. So if you'd like to be on what we call our contact list, our master webmaster, David, puts this together, and what it is, you put what information you like to have shared in the contact, you put that in the chat tonight. Now, Dave will take it out of the chat before he puts the chat online for, he puts the chat that we generate tonight will go online on our website. He removes that information before he puts it on our website. Then he takes the information you gave him and adds it to our master list. If you'd like a copy of the master list, on our contact sheet on our website, there's a little place, a little square, you click it, and then follow the directions exactly. And the subject is Captain, C-A-P-T-A-I-N. But the words you have to put in exact, and you have to unclick a little box. This is, we're trying to go bot proof. And if you get, I got 83 trash emails yesterday. Why the hell do I count them? But, and I'll find out how to make that sitting on my iPad. It only happens on my iPad. But we don't want you to be exposed to that. So we're going bot proof. And if you participate, it's fine. If you choose not to, it's fine too. If you choose only give your name and an email, that's fine too. But no commercials, please. That's one thing we like about this. We've only had to reel in 3 or 4 people over the last 2 years, or 851 days, for going commercial. We don't go commercial. That's it. And if we stay away from that dog, we'll be a whole lot better off. Got Gary Scalone to everyone. I'd like to join the contact list. Gary, it's easy. The chat, you just put it in, put the information you want as your contact. Gary, I live on 3rd Street in East Jabib, and my email is such and such. My telephone is this. My website's here. Whatever you want to put, Gary. No comment. This is so loose, it's unbelievable. And I got to say that our webmaster, David, put this together. That's right. And he's a lone wolf out there. He takes care of what we need for our website and everything else. And David just now responded back to Gary and just exactly what I said just now. So we're all on the same trail. And I'd like to hear more from you folks about what you do in your shop and how it works out for you. I'm playing, I feel like a babe in the woods some days. I get in there, I toy around with stuff. And Ronnie, just to make you feel better, if you're not feeling good now, this is one I'm turning right now, Ronnie. It's
started out round.
I buy this at Lowe's on the select rack.
There you go.
I don't have enough money to shop at Lowe's. Damn. Somebody
remember,
they called me and said, you got to be wrong about those prices. No, I've got a pretty good memory. In 1962, 6 1x6 is 6 foot long. 6 pieces was $1.88. Today I paid $8.73 for one 1x6, 6 foot long. $8.73. Somebody
that's all you have
That's
to
at
do
Lowe's.
is ride. That's all you have to do is ride around, find a job site that they build in the house, and you can pick up all the scraps you want.
But I'm building tops for my tables. I gotta have something I can work with instead of scraps.
I paid $50 for that. $50 for a sheet of plywood.
Wow.
It wasn't even cabinet grade.
Ronnie paid $100 for cabinet grade a while back, didn't you, Ronnie?
Right. I bought one sheet of cabinet grade plywood, and it was a little over $100.
Wow.
Oh,
I really like your trees. And I went looking for old type walk-in lumber yards, and about 4. Pardon me, I was in the construction business for over 40 years. 4 or 5 of my favorite ones are gone. They don't exist anymore. Just they can't compete with the big box stores. And
we have a mill down the street, actual sawmill.
Lumber yards are becoming like hardware stores. It's getting harder and harder to find a good hardware store.
They're closing left and right, and somebody will say, well, that's the industry. It might be the industry for the DIY people, but it's not the industry for us. I need a shoulder bolt right now to fix tailstock on my lathe. Freight from Canada is going to cost me $13. I can't find it here locally because the hardware store is getting beat up on those displays, and some are giving up on it. In fact, one on the corner by me gave up on it.
What are you looking for your lathe?
I need a shoulder bolt, 2
What
inches,
size?
5/16 shaft, Allen head.
Well, you got the people right around the corner from you over there on Dinkin Street for nuts and bolts. They're going to have that, Eddie.
Granger would have it.
I found it at Granger in a box of 50. I found it at MSC Direct in like 24.
You know the place I'm talking about over there on Dinkin Street that I told you about?
Yeah, Fasteners Inc.
Yeah, Fasteners Incorporated. They'll have it to you. They'll sell you 1 or a dozen or how many ever you want.
They will sell singles like that because I've never had luck with those folks. But I'm willing to try it. It's within walking distance of the farm, so to go check it out. Folks, in a few minutes, we're going to go to Gary. I'm sorry, Rich. I'll get his name right, really. Louisiana Hobby Guy. I talk about that laser burn and what you're doing on your laser engravers, and that's just a tidbit of what we do. We talk generally about wood turning and what you have. And a minute ago, I started saying, what ideas do you share? I mean, a guy sent me an email and said, get rid of your nitro gloves, go to painter's tape, if she ever gives it back. And, but other things like that. Ronnie knows what I'm talking about here. I did this on a YouTube probably 10 years ago. That's a strip of Velcro on the back of a yardstick. Yeah, they could still have cut yardsticks. And I can stack the paper on in the order that I use it. And pull a piece of paper off, put it back on, and it's right there. And if it looks worn out, I'll change it out. That's a simple trick to store your materials close to you. And Ronnie's got one like it. I saw it in the shop one day.
Yep. And Dean did a good video. It was on today about making those little sanders that the way he did it, you can make a dozen or 2 dozen of them, and it might cost you $1.
Of what?
Dean?
What do you mean?
Those little sanding discs that you don't.
Oh, okay.
He don't
Sanding
even
arbor.
change. He don't even change the sandpaper. He just grabs a different sanding head.
Yeah.
We develop those tricks and hints, and it can save you time, money, and aggravation. But a lot of times you might give up on something because it just ain't gone right. So we can share that information with somebody. I'd love to see it, like to see it put on our website. Now, how do you do that? You put it together in some type of document or form or whatever, and you send it to our webmaster at the contact number, contact list that's on our website. It's just that easy. And Dave will use it. We have a lot of them up there from folks that developed the trick or a technique or the dimensions for an urn. We didn't give Dave the meeting time one day, 2 or 3 weeks ago, to talk about that, but it's on our website now. If you're going to build an urn, Dave has got the math right there, and you can. And there's no more guessing about how much rice to put in a cup and all that stuff. He's got it worked out. Dave also collects photographs for our website. You can send them directly to Dave. Or if you want to be on the video gallery I produce each week, I have 2 for tonight. And also on our newsletter, which is just a photo page. I mean, I'm not getting articles from the members yet to increase the volume of the newsletter. I'm looking for them. But if you like to be on a newsletter, in a promos here on the gallery, send them to me at worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. Just that simple. worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. Can't confuse you with it because we have to keep things fairly simple here. All right. Dane, do we have any gallery up right now?
Yeah, we do.
Well, let's pop in there. Who you got?
All right. Well, let's go to Doug Rowe.
Uh-oh. This is not good. You had to do that, huh?
Hey, hold on. I'm rearranging in the shop because my correct garage door came in today. But of course, I'd already had things all stacked up and around, so I had to move that in order for them to work. Let me get my camera turned around. I don't remember if I showed this one a few weeks ago when I made it or not, and then I took it to the office and it's been sitting there. But that's Ponderosa pine. So, and then this one I made the other day on Facebook Live. So if you're friends with me, you may have seen me making this one.
Yeah, it's got a pretty grain.
That's right.
Very nice.
Thanks. There you go. And
he sent us in a series of photographs on it so you get a better idea of even some of the dimensions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a real big bowl. It's only about 11 inches tall. But my wife liked it like that. And she said, you could put a picture in there and use it as a photograph or a frame. But at any rate, so I threw it up on my Facebook for fun. And I put $30 on there. And got quite a few likes, and one person said yes, and the person that said yes is somebody I've known since high school, and she's kind of had a run of bad luck here lately. So then she said, well, how am I going to pay you? Nobody carries cash anymore. And I said, how about we just make this one a gift this time? And so I'm just going to give it to her. And then, but after that, I had quite a few more people say they were interested in it. So I guess I got to make a few more.
Good job.
Looks nice.
That's it. And then
Thank you, Doug.
that's my new shelf. I put that on our Worldwide Woodturners Facebook page, but I picked that up at the Orange Box store, and it works out pretty good.
That'll work.
So now I got somewhere to put the finished stuff that my wife doesn't take.
Aha, good luck with that.
Yeah.
That's good. Thanks, Doug.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Let's go to Joaquin. Hey, Joaquin.
Hey, how are you? I've been missing meetings, but I've been very busy. Been doing a couple of things. It's Purple Heart. The cross is maple. This is Bethlehem olive. I realized after I had glued up all my Purple Heart blanks that I had missed the opportunity, because I have a bag full of Bethlehem olive, that I could have made the cross out of the olive as well. So I've been did a couple of those. This is a fun little pen. This is cherry, spalted maple, and walnut. I have to redo this one. When I pressed it, the wood actually flaked, so I've got to redo that one. Wood Turning Z had a sale, and this is their tactical pen. That's Blackwood, and this is an impressive pen. This thing is heavy duty, and it's got the glass breaker on the end. It's a nice kit. It's a really nice kit. It's a twist, and I believe that's the Taiwan mechanism. This is a good, solid kit. I recommend it. But like I was saying earlier, I had a friend turn me on to Barbara Dill. So I've been playing more with multi-axis. This is a little box on 4 axes with a sphere, which is on infinite axes as the lid. This is hard maple and then spalted maple on, that's I think silver maple on the sphere.
I like that.
Well, that ain't nothing. I actually did this one. Hang on, how do I reverse this camera? Aha. I did that one before Christmas. This is called Triumvirate.
Oh, wow.
Walnut. That's 4 axis turned, and then I used my, there's my Mastiff, sorry. I used my Dremel and carved. And then the sphere is spalted cherry, and the base is cherry from a different tree. It's crotchwood. That was a lot of fun to do. That was actually before I learned about Barbara Dill. My friend saw this and said, you need to check out Barbara Dill. And then another buddy gave me a piece of firewood.
Wow.
That was spalted
Nice.
maple with quilting. So that's the first piece of it. Now this is from one piece of wood. I'm about to show you another piece from the same piece of wood. We got snowed in here in North Carolina. This is the North Carolina Snowmageddon box. And this is the same piece of wood. You can see the quilting there. It's ambrosia. It's spalted. Did you hear that, Pop?
Yes.
That's not supposed to do that. That surprised me. But that's just a little, that's the Snowmageddon box.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
It turned out, I'm pretty pleased with this. I'm pretty proud of this piece. It's completely not what I started to turn, but that's what the wood decided it wanted to do. David Swain, I don't know if David's here tonight, but he's been inspiring me to do some lidded boxes, so to change my forms and shapes and step away from just a tube. So this is a David Swain inspired box.
Nice.
And then I heard something about a January bowl challenge.
Wow.
That's a piece of black walnut from the same buddy who gave me the spalted maple. So
There.
I've been busy. I've been spending a lot of time in the shop.
What's the size of that one?
That's about 8 inches by I think 3.5 tall.
That is
Yeah,
gorgeous.
that's roughly 8 inches.
it.
Yeah. it turned out it's just a really pretty piece of wood. I have a buddy who lives in South Carolina, just over the border from North Carolina, and he turns massive bowls. He turns huge bowls, and he has a storage unit full of 12-inch, roughly 12-inch dry wood. And he's decided that everything he turns is over 16 inches. So he just said, hey, come down and pick up some wood. And he gave me 2 truckloads now of dry walnut, maple, cherry for free. Like this little, this is some of his cherry. Sorry, that's my pecan bowl, but that's some of the cherry. And I've never seen a piece of cherry this brown. But I'm sorry?
It's gorgeous.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
That doesn't look like any cherry I've ever seen.
I know, right? He swears it's cherry.
That's elm.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
The rings tell me it's elm.
Okay. It's incredibly dense. I mean, it's as dense as cherry. I love this bowl. Yeah, this is a great bowl.
It's pretty. It's pretty. Yeah.
I'll call it whatever he wants it called. So it's
right.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter what wood you claim it is. I'll keep it.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, this was I don't know. I turned this right before Christmas, I guess. That's a fun little piece. Elm, huh?
It does. I turn a lot of elm out here in Arizona, and it does look very similar to elm.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks
I'll
like
talk
it.
to him and see what he says. That's because it's
Hey,
not cherry colored. It's brown. It's brown, not red.
Yeah. A sure giveaway that it's elm is those between the ring striations. That's elm.
Okay.
Yeah, similar to
So if you see all the little striations between the year end rings,
right?
That's elm. That's elm.
Huh. Okay. Cool.
And then when you're turning elm, it does have a pretty distinct smell to it too. So if you remember by any chance when you're turning it, if you're like, man, this is kind of strong.
I remember it didn't smell like cherry, which is why I didn't think it was cherry when I turned it.
Did it smell like a cow barn?
Yeah,
Did it smell like a cow barn when you turned it? Because elm smells like manure.
No, it did not smell like manure. I would have remembered that because I've got some Purple Heart that smells like manure. I hate turning it because it stinks.
I've heard cow pee. I've heard all I know is when I turn elm in my shop, like I definitely know it. It definitely smells different than any of the other common woods out here, which is mostly pine up where I live, pine and elm. But
I'll have to dig through the pile and see if I have another piece and pay attention to what it smells like. I just remember noting that it didn't smell like cherry.
Yeah.
Because cherry is, I mean, my shop smells like Shirley Temples when I turn cherry.
Yep. Yeah, and choke cherry has a stronger sweet cherry smell than black cherry does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Joaquin. Beautiful work tonight. We got about a minute or so, and we're going to pop in one more gallery before we go to Rich for our first demonstration. Who's up, Dane?
Well, Doug is.
Hey, guys. Showed you this last week, but I wanted to show you with the finish on it. We got a little bit of a shine to it now. I still got to do some more work on the back, but I've been working on the inside of it this week, just a little bit at a time, and was able to get a little shine to it. It's coming along.
That shine is blinding.
Nice.
It's blinding.
He's blanking on my screen.
Heck yeah.
It still has some you can see and feel some of the grain still. It's not plastic yet, and so I'm stopping. I do want to buff it a little further, so I've still got to take the tenon off the back. It's done except for taking the tenon off the back. And,
Hey, Brenda.
Polishing there.
Gorgeous.
Brenda, does that look like a crab inside that bowl?
Oh man.
I don't see a crab.
Looks
I see a lot of
like
other
a
human brain.
There's
Looks like a toucan now.
What's the finish? What's the finish, Doug?
Rattle can lacquer.
Cool.
Thank you, Doug.
That's great, Doug.
8 or 9.
Very nice, Doug.
That's gorgeous.
Beautiful work.
Thanks, Doug.
All right. Ronnie, would you like to introduce our first guest for us tonight?
Huh?
Ronnie?
No, I'm a different Ronnie.
Come up.
Yeah,
Ronnie.
I was unmuting myself. I just spoke to Rich. He's trying to get in the front door right now. He was having to download the Zoom app. So let me see if he's here yet.
He just entered the waiting room, Ronnie.
I just hit the admit button.
Okay. Rich, are you there? Hello, Rich.
May
I
take
think
a
you might have yourself muted, Rich.
Comes Bob Moffett.
Let me tell you a little bit about him while he's getting situated and finding a seat. This man is named Rich. He calls himself the Louisiana Hobby Guy. He lives in the New Orleans area. He is a wood turner. He understands wood turning. He understands what we do and what we're trying to do. And he's very knowledgeable on these diode lasers. And I spoke to him and he was willing to come on and explain to us. And if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask him. The only thing that I ask, he also has a YouTube site. If you could turn into his site, the Louisiana Hobby Guy, and that's all you have to do is hit the subscribe button to subscribe to his channel, and you'll continue learning about these lasers. It doesn't, of course, we know it doesn't cost you anything to click on that subscribe button. So it would be a nice thing for us to give him the his time, and he'll help us out. So, Rich, are you there? Hello, Rich.
Look at the gallery.
Let's see, Rich, you got to unmute yourself.
Yeah, he's there, and he needs to turn his video on.
Oh, turn your video on and unmute yourself.
Video's on and I'm unmuted.
Okay, let's see, where are you? We got to spotlight you, Rich.
You're spotlighted right now, Ronnie. So let me unspotlight you. Okay, Rich.
Now it's you, Eddie.
All right, I found him.
There he is. There he is.
There I am.
Hello
How you
there.
doing tonight?
Welcome.
Good to see you all. Good to be here. And speaking of subscribers, let's see, I am 15 subscribers away from 10,000. Tonight's
Wow.
a celebratory.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I never thought that it would grow this big so fast. I've only been up for a few months.
But you know, when you know what you're doing, people follow you. And Rich, I really believe you know what you're doing. But what I've seen and what we heard tonight, the folks are watching your YouTubes and picking up a lot of great information. I am.
I'm sort of learning as I go. You know, when I started this channel, I started it for a reason, and that was I've been doing woodworking for 50 plus years now. I got addicted to it in high school in shop class. And so I've made a lot of friends over the years and family. And of course, I live in New Orleans, so everybody wants to come here to visit. You know, this is the spot. So we always have friends and family here. And when I got into lasers a few years back, I started getting my friends and family into lasers as well. And everybody had trouble with the software. And my background is in IT. I have a degree in computer science. And so I was the one that initially learned the software years ago. I've been through 5 or 6 different types of laser software along the way. And I guess it was last year I found Lightburn. And it was the owner of Lightburn, Jason, is also in IT. He's a friend of mine. And he started this as a project to help his wife out. And it turned into, you know, a beta program. And then, you know, version after version of beta. And then finally, I guess about a month and a half or 2 months ago, he finally launched the official 1.0, version 1.0. So it's no longer in beta. But along the way, there was a big, learning curve because it's several different programs that are put together. And you have to know all of those programs, I guess, or be familiar with them at least to understand the software right off, right out of the get-go. And I was familiar with most of the software that he put together, merged into this one piece of software. So I picked it up right away. And, I was making videos and posting them on my Google Drive for my friends and my family. I told them, hey, you need to switch to this software. And that's really how it all started. And then somebody said to me, hey, you should make a YouTube channel because I'm sure lots of people want to know about this software as well. And so I did. I think that was back in maybe June, something like that. Yeah, I think it was in June I started the channel. And tonight I'll be hitting 10,000 subscribers, which really shocks me. I always thought this was going to be a friend and family affair. You know what I mean? But turned into something else.
Okay, we just put your YouTube channel up on Ron Radliff. Put your YouTube channel up on our chat. Folks, save the chat.
I see that.
In fact, I need to save the chat because Dane just put me a link to the bolt I need for my lathe. So
Hey, Rich,
Yeah.
I think your friends and family just got a whole lot bigger.
Yes, they did.
Well, that's great. I guess you're going to knock me over that 10,000 in a few minutes. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well,
as far as wood turning, I do work with a couple, well, I don't work with them, they're friends that do a lot of wood turning. And in fact, I just did 6 of his tools with a crazy pattern that he found on the internet. And it's kind of hard to describe. It's just tons and tons of patterns that wrap the entire handle, and I think it's an oak handle. And then he had me with the CO2, I cut out his name and I did about 5 passes on it. So I got it down to 3 millimeters deep. And then I took a piece of mahogany, I ripped it on the table saw down to 3 millimeters, cut out his name with the same exact template that I was using in the first place. And I inlaid that into the handles. And boy, I should have took some pictures of it because, man, it came out fantastic. And he was very impressed. Excuse me.
now I have to pick out my design for you.
But I do a lot. I used to do a lot of turning. At one time, I guess it was back in the early 90s, 91, 92. Right now, my lathe is sort of in hiding in the shop. It's, covered up and sealed up in plastic. We just did a remodel on the laser shop here and the wood shop next door. And I packaged, most of the machines. But I want to show you guys something that you've probably never seen before. And this is probably the oldest pen on earth right here. This is one that I did in 93. This is 14,000-year-old cypress. And the story behind this was they were doing some excavating at Tulane, building a new building. I think it was 93 or 92. And they ran into a log. They didn't know what it was. They thought it was a rock. They wound up having to dig up all around it. And turns out that it was a petrified cypress tree. So one of my friends was a city planner at the time, and he was there, inspecting the site. I don't know what his, interest in it was, but he was there inspecting the site. And he grabbed a branch that was broken off by the backhoe. And I probably shouldn't even be saying this online, but he grabbed a branch and brought it home and gave it to me and asked me if I would make him a pen. And so, yeah, well, there's another one that's just as old, but because he has one as well. And my wife has a little perfume blotter, and I made a couple of pens out of it actually. But they put a stop on the work there and confiscated that tree, and a couple of people had taken pieces of it that they wanted back. I don't know for what reason. So they did some carbon dating on it, and they came out to 14,000 to 14,200 years old. So this pen right here is probably the oldest pen that you've ever seen on the planet. And it's one of my treasured possessions for sure. But you know, that was in the 90s when I was really into pens. I launched a website. I was making probably, now this was as a hobby on the weekend, probably, I don't know, 15 or 20 I was selling per week. That during the week when I'd get home from work, I'd go over to the lathe and make the orders and get them shipped out on the following weekend. And it was a great little hobby for a while. And then for some reason it just dropped off around 94 or 95. And I kind of put that away, and I got into picture frames instead. And I've been doing that as a hobby for a long time, custom picture frames. And then eventually I got into the lasers. And the laser is my absolute favorite hobby now. I still do picture frames for, you know, friends and family. In fact, I just did one for a good friend not long ago out of some red cypress that came out, some red cedar that came out absolutely fantastic. 36 by 30 custom New Orleans print. And so I still do enjoy doing that. I have a lot of fun doing it. So I do other things too. I do CNC, I do 3D printing. I've got a couple of 3D printers right back over here. I've got the CO2 back over here. There's the diode over here. And then I've got 5 more lasers in the wood shop. And I do some, I've suspended it right now because the holidays was just a little bit too much, but I did some Facebook marketplace locally doing slate coasters over the holidays. And I think I did 760 orders between December 1st and December 20th. So that got to be a little too much because I wasn't able to make my videos for YouTube. So I sort of put that selling things on the back burner. And now what I'm doing is making one item, one piece, or if I get a custom order, like I just got a custom order for a whole set of vehicles from a local shipyard where I'm going to engrave aluminum plates that they're going to rivet onto ID plates that they're going to rivet onto the vehicles. So that one that's actually the video I'm working on tonight, are those custom aluminum plates. So basically what I do now is I make something, you know, last week I made this hat right here on the laser, on the diode laser. So I make something, and as I make it, I video it, and then I put it up on YouTube, and it teaches other people. First off, you know, I put everything up, mistakes and all. So, you know, they get to see the mistakes that I made, and they get to see the final product and how I did it. Now, one thing I will say is that so many people call me an expert. I'm far from an expert. You know, every new video I do, I'm learning something new. So I sort of look at it as, you know, learning as we go, and we learn together. And it's become a real fun hobby, just the YouTube channel itself.
You know, well, and you're having fun with what you're doing, so you know, you're getting paid to have a good time.
Absolutely.
Hey, Rich.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tell them about the lasers that you're reviewing for different companies, and those are becoming giveaways.
Yeah. So recently, in the last month and a half or so, some of these manufacturers of these lasers are taking notice of my channel because they see, you know, I'm getting 100,000, more than 100,000 views a month. And they started contacting me and sending me free stuff. So I really have no need for this free stuff. You know, it might be a it might be a $400 laser, it might be $1,000 laser, whatever it is. I have no need for it. I have all of my supplies here already. I have the machines that I'm accustomed to working with. So, you know, I sat with my wife and I said, what, do I send this stuff back? You know, I got one that I didn't even approve for them to send because, you know, my address is in the bottom of the videos. And she said, no, give them away. And I said, oh, that's a great idea. So I programmed a web page with a raffle. And actually, let me see what it's at right now. I think it is at, since the beginning of the month, I think I launched this on the 5th or the 6th. It's up to 9,340 entries right now, since the beginning of the month. So what I did was I decided that, okay, well, I'm going to do this. It's good content. I get asked a lot of questions about lasers that I have no idea what they are. So, I mean, pretty much a diode laser is a diode laser. You know what I mean? But the thing is, they all have little certain features. They all have different control boards. They all run different versions of Gerbil. And, you know, it's kind of hard for me to answer the technical questions that people are asking. So the good thing behind this is, you know, I can download their control software, their Gerbil, their APROM, everything, and keep that saved locally and go ahead and review their laser for them, get them the marketing that they're looking for, then give it away to one of my subscribers as a benefit. And, you know, it's a win-win situation for everybody, because if I get asked in the future about something, a problem in Gerbil or a problem with the control board, I have all of the configuration files saved on my hard drive, and I can go back and study it and figure out what the problem is. So yeah, so every month I'm going to be doing a new giveaway, and it's a free raffle. There's nothing required to participate. And you know, I just think that everyone's going to benefit from it. And you know, there's a lot of people out there that can't afford a good laser, so they might have one that's 3 or 4 years old and can't afford to replace it. And I hope that the winner, you know, the winner is one of those people. Excuse me, I'm still getting over the COVID.
Right. Rich, I appreciate you sticking with us tonight. This is pretty handy for us to go to, and we're probably going to come back to you occasionally.
Sure, my pleasure.
to see if we have particular questions. See, Ronnie will drive us crazy about this stuff. I don't know if you're aware of that. Here's a caution. Yes, he will. And look, he's got a headset on, so he's taking this seriously now. But he's got a nice laser, and he's done some great work on flat work. And he's playing with some other things right now. And that's what we're looking for our members that want to get involved in embellishing their work or enhancing their work with the use of today's technology. And that's what you can do for us.
Well, I like to be creative. You know, I like to be as creative as possible. Like my wife saw somebody had made an Eiffel Tower, an ugly looking Eiffel Tower out of wood. So I went ahead and created my own Eiffel Tower. This one is 30 inches tall, and it's made out of 2mm basswood. And some of the other things that I do, this is a local commission job that a New Orleans attorney commissioned me to do. And this is from 1511. This is actually a wood carving. And I got this litho from a museum in Rome. And what I did was photograph the litho. I edited it in my software, enhanced it. Then what I did was I brought it into Lightburn and did some final adjustments so that it would work well with the laser. And this is an actual wood carving. So it's a picture of a wood carving, a lithograph. And then it's a picture of the lithograph. And then it's brought in and made into an SVG file in Lightburn, and this is the result. And you can see if I get close enough that it is a wood carving.
That is nice.
So this is the kind of stuff that I like to do. And I'm very, very careful about my settings and my speed and my power. If you can see, I'm very careful with the text and things like that. So this is a long learning process. You know, when you get into this, you can't just jump in and say, okay, I'm good to go and start, you know, producing products and things. There's a long learning process where you have to understand. It's very much like woodworking. You have to understand how the wood reacts to the laser. So just like, you know, you have to understand how the wood reacts to the knife, and a carpenter has to understand how the wood reacts to a saw blade. You know, you have to understand how the wood reacts to the actual laser itself, and what power laser you should use. Like the real fine detail stuff, I use a 1/2 watt laser, 500 milliamps. The larger jobs, I'll use a 5 or 10 watt laser. And the cutting jobs, I'll use my CO2. So it's all a matter of choosing the right product. And like I said, it's a learning experience. You know, I didn't know how to do this, the leather, until I actually did it. And I just bring people along for the ride with me and show them how I made the custom graphic in Lightburn. So teaching them how to work in Node Edit and things like that. So that's an educational part of it right there, where they get to learn the software, and then actually showing them on the hardware how it was cut out and engraved and all that. So it's sort of fun, you know. I'm teaching and learning at the same time, and I think everybody that participates in the channel is doing the same thing, and that's why I like it so much.
Well, Rich, I appreciate you joining us this evening. We're going to pop in and do a demo.
Just a quick update. I'm at 10,006 subscribers at the moment.
We did
So
it.
Thank you all for subscribing.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you all for subscribing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich, for coming on tonight and informing us about these lasers.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you know, feel free to shoot me I'm on Messenger, I'm on Instagram, Louisiana Hobby Guy on Instagram. I'm on Messenger as the Louisiana Hobby Guy. If you go to the show more section of any of my videos, just open that up and you'll find my phone number. You can find my address there. You can find, you know, my email address there. Email is probably the best way to go. I also have a forum set up, which is also in the description of all the videos, where it's a free forum. You can log on there. I've got all sorts of templates. I've got cut libraries there, art libraries there that I've uploaded. So, you know, feel free to join in on the forum as well. If you're using a laser, I would highly recommend you join the forum. We're building the probably the best forum I've ever seen for hobby lasers on the internet, and actually for any hobby. And if some of you guys want to get involved on the forum and have your own topic for wood turning, that's okay too. Just let me know and I'll set it up for you.
All right.
Thank you.
Rich. Thank you so much.
Rich?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is John in Alaska. Real quick, when you have a chance, check out Latitude 67 Laser Design. This lady makes some 3D Alaskan animals. She just made an octopus that is 3 feet tall, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. It's not on her webpage yet. She just finished it, but it will be.
Say it again. Latitude what?
Latitude 67 Laser Design. She's in Big Lake, Alaska.
You know what? I think she's on YouTube, isn't she?
I don't know.
I think I just saw something like that. I do the animals too. I do a lot of dinosaurs. So I've done the largest dinosaur is for my grandson, and it is 4 feet long, It's 3 feet high and it's 2 feet wide. And of course, you know, it's bones like a museum piece.
Mhm.
But that one took me an entire day to do.
The
And this,
octopus took her a week.
this is my biggest selling item right here, are these
Oh, that's great.
the bamboo pens.
What
You
was the
know,
name of that tech pen that you showed us first?
This the 14,000-year-old pen?
No, the other one with a glass break.
The other one with the what?
With a glass break.
Well, that was
Tactical pen.
That wasn't him.
That wasn't me.
That
Oh,
was
okay.
me.
Oh, what was the name of that?
That's the tactical pen from Wood Turning Z.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we covered a lot of ground here tonight, folks. And we have a good demonstration popped up. It's 12 after the top of the hour. And I think, is Trace going to do the introduction to this demonstration? Is it going to be Trace?
I don't know. As far as I know, just Johnny.
I thought it was just
Johnny?
Johnny. Yeah, but I thought it was just Johnny. I didn't think I was introducing him.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was in your shop. I'm sorry.
No. I'm in my own shop.
Okay,
right,
well, we're
let's-
going to go to
let's
Johnny.
Bring Johnny up here. Hey, Johnny.
Hey there.
Hey, Trey, can you set Johnny up for co-host? For when we have to mute everybody? So he can unmute
Johnny?
himself?
Johnny, are you on John? You can, anybody can unmute themselves anyway. Is it Johnny's iPhone?
Yes.
Right. Johnny, you lost a lot of weight. We can barely see you.
Yeah. Well, that's because I got my iPad on so I can see what's going on with my iPhone.
Okay.
So
I
it's on
got
my-
you now.
There you are.
All right. Let me get here real quick. Some of what I'm working on here. If I can get this thing. Play. Come on, phone. There we go. This is what I'm making today. These are just little coffee scoops. They're little 2 tablespoons of whatever you want to put in them. And that's what I'll be making here today. So I have one in the back in pecan, one out of maple, one out of mahogany, and this was made out of Purple Heart and maple.
My son-in-law took the safe, he unbolted it from the floor, picked it up and carried it out to his car. And I know that sucker weighed a half a ton. Of course.
Okay. We're back to Johnny, I hope.
Yeah, guy.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and switch over here. And, this little bracket. Somebody here. I think it was Dane, actually.
What's that?
I'm going to put my iPhone in this little bracket here to be sure everybody can see here. So let's do that.
There we go.
All right. You see that?
Great angle. That's perfect.
Is that too much light?
No, that seems fine.
Okay. Sometimes I got a lot of light here and it'll white things out. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with a piece here that is, this is mahogany also, and it is 2 inches by 2 inches by about 3.5 there, I think it is. And this is just 3/4 by 3/4 and about 6.5 inches long, and that'll be the handle when we get to it. Okay. So I'm going to start out between the centers and we'll do that. Let's I've already marked the centers on these. you still see that, everybody?
Looks beautiful.
Yes, sir. Looks good.
Perfect.
If anybody has any questions anywhere along the line, just speak up. I'm gonna put my mask on and hopefully you'll still be able to hear my face shield anyways. Okay, and basically what I'm gonna do is just kind of round it out for now, put a tenon on one end and go from there. So that's we can move up and down here. Okay, I'm gonna measure from my tenon. There. Highlight it a little bit. Back with my band. There, put a little bit of dovetail on it. Sure. That's close enough to we get it into chuck. And you can do this without a chuck. Just use a glue block, get it in there, and that'll work. Really a pretty basic thing. For those that don't have a chuck, you can always use a glue block.
Johnny, what'd you use to make your tenon with? Got a question.
A bedan.
A bedan.
Yeah, bedan.
And then it looks like you fine tuned it with a scraper.
Yeah, I did. I just took basically a scraper there to put the dovetail in it. But that's the bedan. It's kind of a French tool there, but
You bump it at a high speed then, right? Yeah. My lasers are turning over.
All right.
Oh, got to do some muting here.
Okay.
Who got on? Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I got him. That's the third time I think I've had to mute him.
No, thanks, Doug.
Okay. Look at that. It's just about round. Go ahead and switch over to a skew here to kind of smooth it out.
Boy, that's a good slicing cut. Wow.
There we go. All right, now what I'm going to do I'm gonna take one of these others and use it for just one example. This is the Purple Heart. This is one I did this afternoon, and it's not glued together yet. So this is going to be the handle that we're turning now. Basically, I'm going to lay it up here and mark it off where I want it. I want to leave a little bit on each end so I don't have a dimple in there. And there and there. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. So now, all right. Go ahead and mark these. So here. There. There. And just a little bit there. So I don't have a dimple in it. And able to get on.
Can't hear you no more, Johnny.
Not talking.
Automatic dropout on his telephone is cutting out because of the sound of the lathe.
Leave some of that. Now I'm just going to roll a bead here on the end. That's basically going to be our handle right there. Still got to cut this down to 1/4 of an inch, but there's a couple of things I want to do first. I'm going to burn in a couple lines here. So. This is just my little burn wire here. Put a handle on both ends. You don't want to hold it with your fingers because it could get hot, plus it'll tear a finger off if it does get caught. So we're just going to come here, build up a little smoke. Black. Okay. I'm going to turn it down a little bit to about 600 RPM. Give it a quick hit with some sandpaper. Just kind of round everything off. Because once I get this other end down to 1/4 inch, it's going to be kind of light there to fool bit. Okay. Blow some of that off. A little bit on my feed. Yep. Speed a little bit. I'll get this down to 1/4 of an inch. See that? I've got a little 1/4 of an inch tool here. You can tell it's got a ways to go here. Okay, we got a 1/4 of an inch there. And that'll give us that. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to part this thing off. Call it a handle. I'm going to part it off with a skew so I'll get a smooth edge. Although this end here will wind up having to be ground off. This end. It's off my feed. Okay, so there we're going to part it off. Using the skew to part it off because I want to finish the end on this end. got our handle. This other little piece here on the end, I'm gonna cut off with a barber plate saw here. I'm just gonna lay it there. Knock it off of there. Little piece of sandpaper right here will take care of that in 1 minute. But that's the finished handle that's gonna go in there. And it is 1/4 of an inch. And the reason it's 1/4 of an inch is we're getting ready to put this back in the chuck, drill 1/4 of an inch hole in it.
Johnny, I got a question real quick.
Sure.
What's the angle you got on that that gouge?
On the what?
On the gouge?
On the gouge? Which one?
Yeah, that one.
This one?
Yeah.
That's a detailed spindle.
Okay.
And I really don't know what the angle is, but I can tell you real quick. I don't want to do that. Like this. Bear with me 1 minute there. That thing right there is 42 degrees.
All right. Thank you.
But that's just a detailed spindle gouge with a very shallow flute. Okay. That's simple. Now, take this one out. I use a step for a lot of these little things like that. Step center has a spring-loaded point in it, so it doesn't go real far. You can see the point goes in as you use it, and it's got the teeth to grip it. And even the live center, I use the step center. So what I do is put a chuck on here.
How many chucks you got in that drawer there, Johnny?
I don't know. There's 13, 14.
Oh my goodness.
I don't like to change jaws much. But yeah. Okay. Hopefully this is gonna fit right into there. Basically, I use basically 3 different types of chucks there. So. We're going to center. I got it squared up on the face of the chuck. I got my chuck a little wider than I like it. That ought to hold it. Stays in there. What do you think? Okay. Moving right along here. Need to measure. And I'm going to drill this out now that I've got it in the chuck. But before I drill it out, I'm gonna mark off where the body is, and my piece is gonna be right about here. So what I want to do is take a pencil here. I'm gonna mark out the center section. You'll notice the center section here is a little bit wider than the others. And I did that because that's your only glue area there, glue the handle in. That's going to be my center band there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and drill it now before I take it down to size and drill out the inside of it, because this will keep from getting tear out on the inside, and we don't want tear out on it. Because you see all that on the inside of the handle there. I'm going to face it off real quick. Nice there. That. You can do this a bunch of ways, but I'm going to use a 1/4 inch brad point bit to reduce the tear out on the outside as well as the inside. We're going to measure that precisely to get the center. You don't have to go forward because it's not going to be very thick right there. And that's all there is to the handle hole, 1/4 inch hole. Now that we've done that, we'll go ahead and drill out the inside. Got a little piece of blue painter's tape on here. That's going to be 1.5 inches from there to the end here. I've already marked that. Take this out of the way. And we're going to drill it for 1.5 inches here. For that, I'm going to turn the speed down a little bit. That's good enough. We're going to drill a little bit. Pull it out. Tighten that chuck. You can't drill it like this with all kinds of wood, but with this mahogany, it's very soft, and you can just punch right into it. So. There goes our hole.
What size Forstner bit is that?
That is a 1 3/8 inch.
I have a question.
Because I'm going to turn this outside down to 1 3/4 inch. I'll turn it down and mark it and measure it. There's another little handy dandy Harbor Freight device you can use for measuring the center there. That's how deep it is right now. So I'm going to mark it back over here, and we're gonna go a little further back. I need to leave some room. I'm gonna make a little extra room on here. I'm gonna mark this about there. But I want these 3 pieces to be all about the same. And we can handle that. Okay. So the Forstner bit is, there's a little bitty dimple down there at the bottom of that hole. And I don't know how to show you that, but everyone knows what a Forstner bit does. And you can turn that out several ways. You can use anything you want to turn that out of there. A little bit. But I've never had coffee grounds complain, so we're going to do it anyways. What I have here is a scraper that I've modified to be a box scraper. It's straight on one side. It's got a rounded end on the end. So when you want to scrape the sides of it, it'll run right down the sides and smooth out the sides. And then you just rotate it around to take out that little nub in the middle there. Okay, and it's just a straight scraper. Or at least it was before I ground it down. See what I'm looking at here. I got most of it out right there. We're gonna make another pass through here. And you could use a carbide tip or anything you want. If you want to take that dimple out, leave the little dimple as far as that goes. But I got the idea for this scraper from Jimmy Clues. At the time, that's what he was using when I watched him several years ago. And I actually took his scraper and patterned this one after it, drew it out on paper, and then ground this one down to work. So that number 8 there, that's not the number 8 scraper. That is what I grind them on. On my grinder, they're all numbered over there. So whatever angle I'm putting on here, that's what number's on there. You'll see the same thing on Hughes of 2.5. So that way I know where I'm setting it. So I can go back and I get the same angle every time. All of them. Even the B-Dan's got a number 5 on it. Okay. So we've done that. Now, shape this thing up the way we want it. Don't go too forward with the cue on that. Shape it down.
Members, if you're just joining us, this is Johnny Hughes out of Ocean Springs, Mississippi. And he's doing what I think you would call a coffee scoop. It'll hold about 2 tablespoons of coffee. He's doing this out of 2 different pieces of wood, or 2 pieces of wood, pardon me. And we're showing you some technique here. So if you follow along with us, and we'll go back to gallery following this, including the video gallery from last week and this week. And we'll be taking your questions and et cetera, et cetera. So stick around with us. It's about quarter to the top of the hour. And we're here on worldwidewoodturnings.org.
Okay. Have a good time to try my handle there, see if it's gonna fit. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so now we pretty well got the shape we want here. Put that down. Here. Now would be the time that I would sand that. I'm just gonna hit it real quick. Come back over it at a later date. Turn my speed down. I like to sand around 600 or so. I don't like to stick my finger all the way in there, so I use a roll of sandpaper there to sand the inside. Good way to lose a finger, by the way. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make these grooves a little bigger, and I'm going to burn lines in there where these are. Okay. Same burning wire, same thing I've been using for years here. Just gonna put it down there, put a little pressure on it. We're gonna turn the speed up, the burn speed.
I ho sober.
Make a little smoke. There we go. Let's see here. And that's good enough to scoop coffee with. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take it out of this chuck. And part off the bottom of it. And let's see here. Right chuck. I use the set screw in the back. Quite often I sand in reverse also. Once I've loosened that up, just gonna take the chuck off. That's a handy little chuck, by the way. That's the Record Power SC2. And now you see why I went with 1 3/8 hole down the middle. For one, I know that that's going to be exactly 2 tablespoons in there. For 2, it'll fit right over that chuck.
You've done this a couple times before, Johnny.
Yeah, this is not my first rodeo, but it's close. Let's see here. We're gonna push that on there. Push it up. And we're gonna expand the jaws. Not enough to crack it open, but enough to hold it on there.
So Johnny, why are you turning it around to take it off instead of leaving it the way you had it to take it off?
Well, it's just easier. It's not going to go anywhere on the chuck. And if I parted it off with a parting tool there, of course, I just have to reach it, part it, and I'll get a smoother finish this way. Because I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to come back with my cut the face off smooth. So,
Okay, I got you.
otherwise, you'd have tear out, especially in this mahogany.
More clearance.
Yeah. Gotta remember clearance there.
Yeah, he's a good friend to everybody.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna use the tailstock. I like to use the tailstock as much as I can, whenever I can. It's just a handy little device, and it can save you wearing a piece of wood.
I noticed you never locked the tailstock.
Pardon me?
You never locked the tailstock.
No.
Oh, okay.
I check it. If I'm gonna be turning any length of time, I always check it just to make sure. But someday it may all back off, but it wouldn't matter because you're stuck on this chuck anyways.
Brenda, if you see the way he's slicing it, he's going downhill on that end grain. If he did it with a parting tool, it would tear. But right now, he's getting a sanded finish.
Here's another little tool I picked up from watching a bald-headed guy out in Atlanta there one time. I didn't see him on here tonight, though. But now I'm just going to turn that out where it's nice and smooth. You couldn't do this with a parting tool. This grind, and I don't know if you can see it there, but it is, I got that from Mark Soleil. He showed me how to do that. And he and Cindy Droz use about the same grind on there. It doesn't show up real well there, but it's
like a fingernail.
Yes, it's a real steep fingernail. That's his wood slicer there, but and Cindy's works the same way.
You don't want to Mark Soleil's demonstrations, hand him your gouge, he'll do it, he'll grind it for you.
It sure will. But that's where I got that from, was from Mark Soleil. And the one on the left here, Cindy Droza did. But that's for doing fine detail work, you can't beat that. That is just as smooth as smooth gets there. But I'm gonna sand it anyway. One thing I do that, I don't know, a lot of people probably do it too, but once I get it sanded down to 320, what I do is I'll spray it down with water to raise the grain. And that's before I use anything on it, sealer or anything. There again, I'm going to turn it down. Get it down about 650 or so. Hit it with a little 180. Just to make sure there's nothing in it, no gouges or anything. You remember, we already sanded the other part. So right now I'm just working on the bottom. Normally I have the dust collector on for this, but I didn't think the noise would work well.
Johnny, who you get your sandpaper from?
This come from Vince.
Vince, okay.
Vince's Wooden Wonders there. He's got it almost like an automotive. It's got a foam pad on the back. Your fingers don't get hot. It just it works well. And I've got it in everything from 80 up to 1,000 grit. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do 1,000 grit on the coffee scoop. If I guarantee you, the coffee will never complain. I'm here at 180, 220, 320. And I'm going to back it up and run it backwards for a little bit. Just to make sure I got it all. That's at 320. Here before, so there's a piece right in here. Okay, this is, I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to take the time to sand it again. Tell by the clock on the wall, I don't know what's an hour here. But this is what I would do normally. Down this newspaper here from Antique Newspaper, so it's worth a lot.
We don't have those in.
Yeah, what is that? Is it like printed paper?
Yeah, that's parchment paper they used to print it on. That was before your time, is. Let's see. Basically, that's what it's going to look like when it has a finish on it. One. Two, after I wet it down like that, I'll let it dry naturally. But today I may have to help it a little bit.
It's no cabinet maker's trick called put it in the bath.
Every time I turn this thing up wide open, I'll never forget, I was in Pensacola one time watching Jimmy Clues. He was turning this big block of wood. And one of the other guys there said, well, you turning that to 3,200. Why are you turning it 3,200? He said, that's as fast as it'll go. You know him, he likes to turn fast. So. We're going to shoot a little bit in. Slow guy. And once it's dry, I go back over it with a 320 again. Change direction. Get rid of all that 320 grit. Get it with the 400. Much of the 400. Yeah. Now, normally I would go ahead and apply a sealer, a sanding sealer, because it's easily done on the lathe. But now I'm going to stick my handle in. That's the wrong handle. Here's the right handle. It's a good fit. Now, I put a little bead down there because it's hard to fit the contour of this. So I put a bead. You can see the handle sticking out on the end. Normally what I'll do is I'll come down and I'll put a pencil mark where it stands out. And I'll know how much I need to take off because I want it to be flush. So to do that, I'll use this. I don't remember which way this thing goes. Move my armrest here. Get the handy dandy little handle out. Turn that up there. So I get down about my pencil mark. Try it. We're almost there. Got about a 30 seconds. 54 somewhere. Now you can see it's flush inside of there.
Yep.
Okay. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and knock down that little bit of a nail I had left on there.
That was amazing, Johnny.
That's it. There's your handy dandy coffee scoop. Holds 2 tablespoons. And I know
That is awesome. And what kind of finish would you put on that?
I'd use lacquer for almost everything. But if you're going to use it there on coffee, you could get by with walnut oil. I like walnut oil too on things that are going to be used around food. But I do like lacquer. It's quick and easy. I just take a rattle can lacquer and hit it with it. So.
Very nice.
Good job, Johnny.
That's all there is. Well, thank you.
That's not all there is, sir. We really appreciate it. That was really a good demonstration.
Very nice.
And
Very
folks,
nice
you probably
job.
picked up some tricks or tips that Johnny was using throughout his exhibition here, his demonstration. And that's why we do this. I mean, he showed us on the force snippet how to correct the bottom of it. The little sander in the drill chuck. How to measure it and what to allow for. Johnny gave you tips, tricks and technique that you can take to anything else you turn, not just a coffee dispenser or a coffee scoop. Thank you, Johnny. I know what I got to put on my list. Coffee scoop. All right, I got that. Oh, wait. This is just in. Yeah, if you're just joining us, Johnny was doing the demo. I snuck out and took it back.
Yeah.
That's the
You ran
payment
down
tape
to the
that my
hardware
wife
store.
stole back from me. Don't anybody tell her, okay? Don't tell her. It's a
You
little
still
I
don't
see-
have them- you still don't have
When I-
them walls soundproof. She heard you.
When I see that lump on your head tomorrow morning, I'll know why.
The war has just begun, Eddie.
You beat me to that, Ronnie.
Hey, this, he
Oh,
put it,
the war just,
he put the link in camera clip. And it's
whatever somebody was saying, we lost it.
that I wanted to thank Dane for the link there on this camera hookup. It really
Oh, yeah,
worked
that's
out.
nice, huh?
Yeah, it's done with my iPhone. It worked. I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, we got to run the thanks all the way back to Cade for that one.
Oh,
Yeah. And he watched
it's-
it. He
it's a
watched what he was
handy-
doing on his iPad at the same time, like I'm doing right now. Sorry. Thank you, Johnny.
Makes it easy.
Let me get highlighted here, spotlighted here.
You are.
Trace. I mean, Dane.
You're spotlighted.
Because it's, all right, we do a gallery each week, and to do the gallery, the members send in the photographs of their work. And we do ask you to send us more than just the base picture. I don't want to be crude or nasty. Send us some other elevations or sections or details. Give us something we can show other turners to let them know just what you're doing, how you're doing it, and they can develop what we call technique and get on down the way. So I have two galleries for you tonight. I'll run one after the other because last week, technical difficulties. Somebody unplugged my Wi-Fi. All right. And I can't talk about that. Here's the gallery, and we'll do two in a row. Watch some beautiful work here. Row. Oh, won't be able to do the second gallery tonight, and I just realized why I moved. Okay, we're going to go back to gallery and questions and tips and hints and all that stuff right here on worldwidewoodturners.org. And if you got something to show, put it in the chat. I have something to show. Dane Chandler will see it. He'll introduce you. And when Dane introduces you, please start talking because there's like 86 different images he needs to see to find you. And we have a ton of stuff in chat tonight, folks. So before you leave, save the chat And the chat without the personal information will be on our website after David revises it and puts it out there. But someone's asked about how to buy this, what size drill to use, lot numbers, all the stuff that's in the chat. Our policy is that's open. You can put what you need to put in the chat. I mean, Kay just now put a note in there that is doing a pay-per-view demonstration to give you the information and details, and that's what we can do. Dane, we have somebody up for
Yes, we do.
gallery tonight?
We've got our master webmaster. He's got something to show off. Hey, Dave.
Dave, you're muted. Dave,
You're muted,
still
Dave.
muted. Dave, you're still muted.
You're muted, Dave.
Dave,
we can't hear you, Dave.
You're not on.
You're muted, Dave.
We gotta take it easy on Dave. He doesn't know much about computers and stuff, so.
Yeah, I know. You know, he's still got that Radio Shack TC8. For some reason, we can't get your audio, Dave.
We'll come back to you, Dave.
Yeah, we'll be back.
All
We'll
right,
figure out what microphone he's using. Pull the can tighter. That's spring tighter. Who's next?
Well, we got another Dave. Hey, Dave.
Hey, I'm here.
All right, your turn.
I'm here. Yes.
We got
Go
you.
ahead.
Hey, here I am. What I have here is a box that I made a while ago. But the thing I'm working on now is I'm trying to learn how to make a decent finial. And I think this is my best one to date. The finial is some sort of maple. I think it's sugar maple. And the box itself is ash.
Very nice.
Nice piece. I like
Yes,
the
very
grain
nice.
match.
I like that finial.
Yeah.
What's the inside look like? Oh,
Nothing
yeah.
special. It's you know.
I like the way you cleaned up the lid on the inside.
Yep.
Well, thank you. I'm slowly learning, and I was amazed that I was able to get such a good grain match. It worked out well.
Good. Hey, Dave, if you want to look at some videos or some information on making finials, I'm going to toss you towards Cindy Drozda. Cindy is the master of finials, in my opinion. But look up Cindy. She's got some pay-per-views, but she also does a freebie each month, and that's wide open. So if you're looking for tips and hints, that's where I'd go.
Beautiful.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
And another thing I did this week is a friend of mine he bought some files to sharpen his chainsaw, and it was a little uncomfortable with the handles, so I made him a couple of handles out of cherry.
Very nice.
Nothing special, but I put a little flare here so that he could push without, well, a little more comfortable.
That'll make that saw chain sharper.
Nice job.
Thank you, folks.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Dave, you know, his friend with a sharp chainsaw can probably bring back a lumber. You know,
That's part of the plan.
There you go. Thinking ahead. All right. Well,
Who's
let's
up,
go back.
Dane?
Let's go back to our master demonstrator from tonight, Johnny.
Hey, I just had one little piece to show, and that's my train whistle I made. I'd made them before, square out of 2x4s, but I never turned one on the lathe. And so this
So how's that work?
And it
How's
works.
that work? Oh, literally, just like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, everybody make one for their grandkids for Easter.
There
you go. Said grandkids, so you can send them home.
Yeah, right. So you send them
I got
away.
a question, Johnny.
What's
Why
that?
does it, I got a question. Why does it have the 2 holes in it instead of just 1?
Two. It's got, you're talking about here on the side?
Yeah.
It's got
Well,
4.
they go all the way around.
Yeah, there's 4 of them. 4 holes drilled into this part down here. It's you drill 4 holes at different lengths, and this is a separate piece. It's from the same piece of wood, but it's a separate piece. And then you put your reeds in here, put the cap back on it, glue it on, and then you're all set. So.
Oh.
Another demo? Tone out of it.
Yeah, there's a demo
Yeah,
there.
I definitely think it's another demo.
It takes 4 different tones to get a train whistle.
When can you do that, Johnny? When can you do that the next demo on that?
Towards the end
Danny's
of
got them
February.
signed up. Don't worry about it.
Towards the end of February.
Okay, good. I'll be here.
On it. If you want to try it, a square one, I keep the first one I ever made was a little square one.
Okay.
That's cool.
Nice.
You see, I need to make
Sure,
one
both of them.
for the little girl next door to me.
Yeah.
Her parents will hate it.
Yeah.
I did that one year.
Give them.
I love it.
Hey,
I'm
Johnny.
That one
be
year.
talking about that, Johnny.
Give the
I
whistle
did that
to
one.
your grandkids as they walking out the door.
Well, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Way to do it. Way out.
Because they work well in the car. Who's that? Is
Really?
that Cade coming up next?
Yeah, sure. Oh, I was just gonna say I did that one year to my cousin. She has 7 kids. So I went out
man.
there one year and she used to torment me as a kid. We're close to the same age, my cousin and I, and she has something like 7 kids. And I went out to visit family one year and I brought them all a tiny little whistle that I made on the lathe, and it was very high pitched. The dog and the cat would run and hide. It was such a high pitch. And she thanked me before I left and said they might get lost along the way because they were already starting to drive her crazy. So,
Fun.
but while I'm here, I do have some show and tell if there's no one else on the line.
Yeah, you're up, buddy.
All right. Thanks. So I did a couple wig stands this week. I had a demonstration I had to do for a club on Monday. So I turned one for fun. Here's the one I turned for fun.
That's nice. I like that. That's good.
This is
That's
made
those
out
little
of
kids that
brown
need wigs.
maple and black walnut.
That's great.
It's
Just
just
for somebody
toned
doesn't
down.
have much of a wig.
It'll hold a hamster's wig.
Barbie dolls.
That one's
I
pretty
know.
ready.
Or a Barbie doll wig. Could be for a little gerbil house.
Mhm.
So that was for fun. And then here's the one I turned the day before the demonstration, and it's made out of ash. This has one coat of finish on it already. The base is already glued. What I do is I make these concentric growth rings because it's easy to label the wood. So on the first line, I'll label the wood and then I'll sign my name and then I'll put which club it's coming from. So it really frames it in nicely for when I deliver it to the cancer support centers. So that's why I create a bullseye on the bottom. And I can show you a finished one of how I sign it. So this one here it's signed, and I just do it with my wood burning pen. So it's ash, it's made by me, and then it's donated on behalf of the Durham Woodworking Club. So
Nice. I like that.
that
Good
one,
idea.
that's one that's finished, and I can see myself in it. And then the one I turned in the demonstration is this one. I did the exact same design. The inside is hollowed out again for your jewelry, your rings, your watches, your earrings. I framed it in again so I can sign it on each line. And then the inside is hollowed to remove some of the weight so it's not top heavy. All the weight is in the base. So if your cabinet gets bumped, your wig isn't falling over and your wig stand isn't falling over. So that's the one I did in the demonstration. And then I have a live edge bowl here. I torched and I dyed. So this one I dyed purple. There's quite a bit of glare on this one. It's nicely just finished off my finishing table. And I dyed this purple. It might be a little hard to see in the light with the sheen.
I can
but
see some purple.
Yeah, we're getting some flashes back.
Yeah.
Brenda saw an angel in there just now.
Yeah, myself.
So that's a little live edge bowl turned to an 1/8 of an inch wall thickness. And then I have a tiny little box that I just got off the finishing table, and this is made out of choke cherry. So it's end grain orientation, so spindle orientation. And then this is made out of choke cherry, which is from the family ranch out west in Alberta. The finial is African Paduke. And then
Very nice.
There's the inside.
Nice detailing.
Very nice.
A little surprise when you open it.
Very nice.
Oh, I had one more thing. I almost forgot. I was inspired by Bob Moffat and all the birdhouses he makes. So the other day I had some time in between production and I made my very first birdhouse.
Okay, Bob is with us. Bob, let's get an opinion on it, Bob.
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty good.
They look very good.
Thanks.
Nice.
The body is black walnut. The lid and the base are tulip poplar. And then I had a pen blank that was cut in half for finials. So I used 1/2 for a finial on a box probably a month or so ago. I had this one hanging around. So I created a small jewel on top. I created the little pedestal for the bird and then a small finial for the bottom. And that is quilted, figured, dyed, stabilized maple. You can see some of the curling, the stripes there on the top.
Yep.
So once this is shined up to this sheen, the grain in that curl will really pop. So far it only has maybe 3 coats on it, but yeah, so I made that this week. So thanks, Bob.
You did an excellent job of that. I like that.
Bob's up for gallery tonight. Bob, you want to jump in there with gallery? You have something.
I don't know if I want to follow Kate now.
Yeah, we want to follow up. Come on.
I've been messing around with some Spectraply. Am I highlighted?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been turning some Spectraply, and I turned old birdhouse like this.
Very nice. I like that.
And I've never done it that way before.
That's a birdhouse from the 60s.
That's cool. Very psychedelic.
And I got this one that I did.
Raise it up. Ooh.
Oh, very
nice.
This was what was left over from doing this.
That's the neighbor. That's the neighbor's house from the 60s.
Yeah. And this
They
is
got
the other
shag
neighbor's.
carpet inside.
This is the other neighbor's house from the 60s.
Oh, how about that? You got the whole community.
Wow, really?
Love it.
Oh, nice.
Must be a convene.
Cool.
And then I made a Beads of Courage box.
Little Art Deco there.
Out of this is made out. This is walnut, cherry, walnut, maple, walnut, and cherry.
Nice.
Top,
A little bit of texture.
Nice.
a little textured on the bottom. So I got to put a couple more coats on this, but I was pleased with it.
A lot of nice detail.
Oh, that looks great.
Very
Thank you.
nice.
Good use
I got
of wood.
some Spectraply. I'm gonna have to try some psychedelic houses now.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. What was that?
Oh, I have some Spectraply lying around. I might have to try one of those psychedelic houses. Those are really
I'd
nice.
never made one out of it before. And I got some from a friend of mine. I was going to make bottle stoppers. And I never got around to making those, and so I like the birdhouses better.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Right on.
Yeah,
Good
they're
job,
fun to
Bob.
make.
Thank you,
That's what
Bob.
and this is my coffee cup without the turned lid on it.
Without the bug detractor. Yep.
And that's
Thank
what
you,
I had.
Bob.
And then folks,
Very
we got
nice.
we got Bob doing a demo coming up second week of February.
February.
Yeah. So y'all stay tuned. He's got some good stuff he's going to be doing.
Well,
Or at least that's our story, and we're going to stick to it, Bob.
there you go.
Right? All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's go back to
Thanks.
Dave and see if he's got his audio fixed.
Can you hear me this time around?
Yes, sir. We hear you
All right.
loud and clear.
You missed the chance, Dane. You should have
I
went,
was
huh?
gonna say, you
Huh?"
missed that.
First bull I've made that wasn't out of a piece of 2x4 or something else.
That
Made
looks
out of
good.
birch.
Ooh,
Made out of
nice
birch.
figure.
I was
Very
happy with myself. That's the only reason I'm showing it today, I think.
Congratulations, Dave. That looks nice. What's your finish?
That's nice.
Also, I did a
Nice
What
grain.
kind of finish did you put on that?
pen that was out of acrylic or epoxy rather.
Nice.
Very
You
nice.
can't really see it well.
Very good. So back on your bowl, what's the finish?
It's just got 3408, nothing else.
3408. Looks good.
Very
Gorgeous.
nice.
What kind of
Good
wood is
job,
that?
Dave.
It's birch.
Great striking in
I
the
got
birch.
trim off the bottom, but we'll ignore that for the moment.
Nice grain.
Oh, no, that's
Love it.
great. Good job, Dave.
Very nice.
All right. Well, I've got a couple items to show. So a few weeks ago, I did a demo on the Chosin box. So here it is, finished.
That turned out great.
Very nice.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Very nice.
Whoa.
Yeah, great shine, Dane.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice finish.
Absolutely beautiful.
There's the bottom. I know the redness wasn't coming through on it during the demo as good as what I was seeing it, but now y'all can see it. So
I love that wood.
Wow.
Love it.
yeah, listed that, and that came off the for sale page real quick. And then here's another one out of Mesquite.
Love it.
Very nice.
Love the
Oh,
green
cool.
in that. Oh, man.
Those are beautiful, Dane.
Very nice.
What's the finish?
Spar Verifane. Boiled
Spray or
linseed.
wipe on?
Wipe on.
Nice. Very nice. Mm-hmm.
So it's got, both of them have 2 diluted 50-50 layers and then 2 full strength layers. And then, so this is Mesquite as well, as you can tell by the grain here, it's matching piece. And then I used the RIT dye, you know, to ebonize it. But yeah, so there's those 2 pieces.
Beautiful.
Then I had a bowl. I sent a picture to Eddie for it, but I've already mailed it out to its new owner. So, but it'll be in the gallery video package presentation that Eddie will put together for next week. So,
Yep.
but, yep, that's what I've got for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Very
Very
nice.
nice. Very
Appreciate
nice.
it.
I've been turning a little. I've been turning a little bit this week, but I made a mistake, and y'all should learn by this. Is that I allowed the wife to take a look at what I found on the internet, and this is what I found on the internet. And Ronnie, that's 2x material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
And the mistake I made was to show it and then have to take orders because she wants several different shapes of any beautiful wood I can come up with. So before you show somebody something on the internet, know the consequences.
There you go.
Sometimes it's a good thing to have.
Oh,
I told her,
look, she said, first thing she said, I want the outside shaped like such. And I said,
Yeah.
good. Find one you like and give it to me. Because there's no, but I am restricted. No burn lines, no dye marks, no embellishment. Yeah. And
Just
take the
straight
fun
up.
out of it.
I told a friend, I
Right.
told a friend of mine one time how to make a birdhouse. And he said, well, after we finished, he said, boy, he says, there's a lot of steps in that. And I said, well, there's a few. He said, that's a lot of work. He got home and showed it to his wife. His wife says, why don't you make 10 of them for my Marjan friends?
That'll
Yeah.
make him better at it. All right, let's go to Dean. Hey, Dean.
All right, so I've got a couple of things here. Did a little video of an oak shot glass. So I thought I'd share that with you guys.
Nice.
Very nice.
And if you're gonna do one out of oak, make sure you use white oak.
Right. Or you
And
got to drink really
released a
fast with
video
the red
this
oak.
morning of these. And we all use these little sanding discs. And of course, you can pay anywhere from $5 or $6 on the cheap to much as $30 plus for these things. And I don't know, I'll probably have a quarter in this one. The video went up this morning. This part right up here is just a discarded
Phillips head.
Yeah, you wear them out. And of course, you can't throw them away because they might be good for something, right?
Right. You might need it for something.
Exactly.
You might want to make a punch out of it.
Yeah, you still got 3 screws with it already and you still keep it. So I've got a bunch of those in a drawer of different sorts. And I just use them for these, and then you get a quick change bit to go in your drill.
Yep.
Make one of these for every grit. You can get densities of foam to put on there, and so if you want a soft one, you can make as many as you want. You can make them in a hurry, and they're super easy to change out.
What is the black again?
What's that?
What is the black part?
Foam.
Like computer foam. The foam packing in a computer is perfect for that.
Yeah.
Any electronics, it comes with this really nice firm foam that is perfect for sanding this.
And you know, just about any foam, because you can get some, you know, for my higher grits, I like a softer foam. But you know, lower grits, my 80s, 120 stuff, I like something that got a little more consistency to it. And this is perfect. But you know, when you're doing it yourself, you can use any foam you want and make it the consistency you like to use.
I made some sanding poles with using foam from pipe wrap, the black pipe foam. You can get it.
Yeah.
It's got a good density to it, but it's soft.
Well, you know, especially for beginners, and we all started out somewhere.
Yeah.
And typically, when you start out, you spin these things too fast, you spin the blade too fast, and you melt the Velcro right off the end because you're going from one grit to the next one. And for a few bowls, you get to go down to the store and buy a new one. This way, you can make as many as you want. You can make several dozen for what one would cost you down at
Right.
Yep. I use exercise mats. You can get them at Walmart.
exercise mats, the little things that the gardeners kneel down on out in the garden.
Yep. Or anti-fatigue mat. Yep. They
Wait a
work
minute.
well too.
They make mats for exercise?
Yep.
Yeah.
Boy, what a waste.
I've heard of that, but nobody's ever defined it for me, Kevin.
Never will know what these people will come up with next.
Hey, I've got a quick sanding tip for you. So when you're sanding, you sand live on Facebook, and then Doug Miller comes on and goes, "How fast are you sanding?" I said, I don't know, around 1,000. He says, that's way too fast. I said, but I'm in a hurry. And then that didn't make a difference. And then, yeah, I found out, slow it down below 500 and I actually sanded faster. Who knew?
Yeah, if you'll slow it down, you'll sand faster and your sandpaper will last longer.
And you won't burnish your wood.
And you
Exactly.
won't burn your fingertips either.
Y'all should have seen the dust fly.
Stuff too much more. I think he's going to start charging me as my own personal tutor here pretty soon.
Oh man. How much you willing to pay, big boy?
I'll pay you double what I pay Eddie to let me be in this club.
Whoa, can't handle that, boys.
Oh my goodness.
Army's paying too good.
Doug Rose, our first sergeant. He's in the Army in Arizona, and he was one of the original founders of the organization. In fact, I met Doug on the internet when he was still in the sand, and he was saving money to buy that Powermatic when he came back. And we've become good friends. But we've met a lot of people over the last 851 days. Came back with this idea, and you folks make it happen. I'm so proud of this. Wow, I'm so proud of it. Who else we have on gallery tonight? I saw a couple other.
We got this guy here. Hey, Joaquin.
Hi, you guys. Well, I've got this piece of live oak that put on the lathe, and it's not finished. It's because it's not going to be around by next Wednesday. It's got some. I've done some crushed stone inlays in some cracks, and on the inside there's a couple of them. But I used mahogany walnut oil on it, and it's the first coat. But I'm starting to notice. I don't know whether it's swelling or doing something. I'm starting to find, I mean, it was smooth as glass, I thought, on the lathe. I'm starting to find little video like tear out on it. Is there a grain filler I should use? I mean, I don't want to go back and sand it. I thought I had it sanded smooth. You reckon the wood's swelling from the oil? It's pretty dry. So what do you think, guys?
What kind of wood is it?
I've had that happen to me more than once.
Live oak.
In fact, I did a pearl that continually grew after I turned it. It was fairly dry when I did it.
Yeah, I don't know whether you can see, but there's just little bitty old pits in here, like end grain tear out, but it wasn't there before, or I didn't see.
Did you wet it while you were sanding it?
It was smooth as glass when I had it on the lathe before I put the oil on it, or that's the way it looked to me.
Contact Mike Mahoney, ask him about it. He'll talk to you. Really? Give him a call or email or something. He'll talk to you about it.
Well, I was wondering, I've heard of these wood grain fillers too. I've never used it, if it would help or it would dampen it some. What's your opinion or thoughts?
I don't know, Joaquin.
Joaquin, I've had some that I've done like that, and it seems like after they set a while and that soaks in, and I just go in and hit it with a high grit sandpaper.
Yeah.
And then put another coat of oil on it, and that seems to work real well.
I was afraid that's what you was going to say.
Yeah.
You can also sand it with the oil.
Yeah.
Any
And
little slurry will fill in any little gaps in there.
yeah, who did that the other day? I forget who did that on the YouTube, where they used a slurry. Yeah.
Carl does it a lot.
Okay.
Carl James.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm going to do, Dean. I'm going to sand it again, let this cure and sand it again and try it again. And
Yeah, you may just need to build it up.
yeah, probably so. And
It is
maybe it was sanding with oil that got a slurry which filled in the pores.
Yeah, you can sand it with these walnut oil.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just hit it with a 600 grit and it'll be perfect. Put the finish on over top of it and it'll be baby bottom smooth again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back on the lathe.
It doesn't take a lot.
Back on the lathe.
Or hadn't on the ones I've done.
Yeah. Okay.
What does wood do that's best? It moves. So that's what happened here. Thank you, Joaquin. Beautiful
Okay.
work
Thank
there.
you, guys. Appreciate it.
Joaquin, You don't
Yes.
necessarily have to put it back on the lathe because you're hand sanding with 600 grit sandpaper.
Yes,
What
sir.
I do is I would just sit on the couch and watch the news, and I would just do a light scuff with 600 with the grain, following the grain pattern, or
Yes.
even the end grain. If it's curling this way, just sand with the grain. And
Yes.
then when you put your next coat over top of it, I mean, any micro scratches will be filled in with the finish over top of it. So you don't necessarily have to remount it on the lathe to, you might actually sand too much of the finish off with the power of the lathe and
Yeah.
the pressure of your hand. But if you just hold it and lightly scuff it as if you were sort of sanding off any fluff or dust or lint that settled on the piece as it dried,
Yeah.
just a light scuff like that, and then the next coat over top will fill any inconsistencies on you.
When you finish with all your oil coats, what do you finish with? Do you after that? After you all your oil cures on your pieces to get that shine, how do you get it?
I buff it with micro mesh.
Okay.
Yeah, just wet sand it with micro mesh.
Gotcha.
And I don't use power. Again, it's just as fast as my hand can move as I sit here on the couch watching TV.
All right. Well, maybe I'll hold on to this till next Wednesday. We'll see what the result is. Thanks a lot.
No
Hey,
problem.
Joaquin,
Yeah.
Joaquin,
Yeah.
I made a bunch of rolling pins for Christmas presents, and I used that Mahoney's. And I noticed right after I put the Mahoney's on, I had close to the same problem. My rolling pins were perfectly smooth.
Okay.
I mean, perfectly smooth. And then I put the Mahoney's on, and it kind of lost that baby feeling, almost like you say. But I left it go another week to 10 days. I didn't do anything to them. Just let them sit on the table. And by golly, after about 10 days, they were back to that just smooth as glass finish, and everything felt great. And I didn't have to do anything to them.
It's soaking up the oil, I guess, and moving, huh? Till it cures.
That's kind of what I
Mhm.
thought. Not having that great experience with Mahoney's, but that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, I like Mahoney's because it leaves it the most natural color of any oil I've used.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate you throwing it on the table there for us tonight. Earlier this evening, in the meeting, we talked about our contact list. And I told folks that if you'd like to be part of it, all you need to do is put the information you wish to be in the contact list in our chat. And David, our webmaster, will take that out. He'll delete it from the chat when he posts the chat to the internet. So you're not putting it out there for the whole world. When you give it to us, we put it in our contact list. It's not a live list now. Once you get access, you've asked and you get a copy, it would be emailed to you. It will be as a PDF with no live links on it. So you have to type in the email address you wish to send money to, or the phone number, or whatever you have. It's all up to you. And this is a voluntary program. So if you want to be part of it, all you have to do is put the information in our chat. We'll have it and we will cover it for you. We're still doing gallery. We've got about 12 or 13 minutes left to go. Dane, who's in the box?
Well, I don't know. I'm waiting for somebody to jump up to the line.
Oh my goodness.
Or more than one person to jump up to the line. And if I've missed you, start talking and we'll bring you up.
Hey, Dane, if we don't got anybody, I'll show some changes I did to my shop.
Yeah, you're on.
Okay. Second, let me take that. So my new, the correct garage door panels finally came in today. So from this side, they look the same. They're just insulated panels. But on the other side, they now match the regular garage. But when that happened, I had to take all of this out in order to have room to do their work, which made me think, well, it's time to change things up a little bit. So when I originally put the lathe in here, I wanted it going this way And then I'd actually posted some pictures on our Facebook page for Worldwide Woodturners where my dumb self put the lathe too close to the wall and then the knockout bar didn't fit. So I started playing around with it, and I really didn't want the wall to my back. So I'm playing around with this angle now. So instead of it being perpendicular to the wall, it's kind of at an oblique or an angle right there. And I tested it, the knockout bar fits. And the reason I wanted to do that is because a lot of you know, when you turn with all of your stuff to your back, everything just gets full of wood chips.
Yeah.
And so I'm just thinking I might make it a little easier to clean up. And then, I don't know, gives me a little bit more room. I don't feel so tight in there when I had the lathe going parallel to the wall. So that's the little change I made. And then just kind of did some things around to make sure they lined up and fit. And I don't know what I was thinking before I had the bandsaw and the drill press switched, yet all the drill bits for the drill press are right there. So I was like, why did I do that? So I just flip-flopped them tonight. And anyways, yeah, that was the big change tonight.
Good.
And then, of course,
Looks
my tool
good.
rack's on wheels, so it just goes.
So do you turn better? Do you turn better now with the new garage door?
Well, I haven't turned anything yet. It just happened today, so I'll have to find out.
I bet it helps.
Yeah.
But it makes the experience better.
I do know it will stop the wife from saying, when are those panels coming in? They were supposed to be.
I know
here
it took a
ago.
long time, didn't it?
It really did, yeah. The new ones were supposed to get here in October.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Just now got them.
Hey, Doug, when are you gonna get that other lathe set up then?
You know what? So I've hardly ever used that little thing. I picked it up at a garage sale, mostly because I wanted the accessories that went with it and convinced the wife that it was a smaller lathe for her. And
Man.
and she never really used it.
Oh, man.
She tried it a couple of times, but it's just not her thing.
Put some buffalo wheels on it.
Turn that
What's
thing
that?
into a buffer, man.
Right.
I got two of them like that. And one of mine, I just got my buffing wheels set on it, you know?
Yeah.
Just
And
buffing.
I've thought about it. When I did use it one time when my local wood turning club came over for a demo, and I was still in my really tiny shop where there was no way we were all going to fit. So I took it out on the patio and did my demo on that instead of, at the time I had a 1980s old Delta lathe. And that was my big lathe in my shop. And then, so I took that out and it worked for that. And it has the same, what do you call the little dealy wheelie right there?
Spindle.
The spindle was the same size as my Delta. So that was nice. My chucks went back and forth and everything. I did buy the adapter. So when I do want to use those chucks on my Powermatic, I can. But so yeah, that was the upgrade. And you know what? One other thing I wanted to bring up, when we were kind of talking about safety, and this was going back a couple of months ago, and we were talking about the different safety things, the first aid kits, the fire extinguishers, and all of that. Somebody had brought up tourniquets. I kind of think it was Trey, but I don't remember. Somebody had said, what about having tourniquets in your shop? And I thought,
yes,
why?
it was me.
It was you. And I thought, well, why not? I carried them with me everywhere I went in Afghanistan. And at any rate, I was cleaning up all my Army gear to get turned in because I'm getting really, really close to retirement now. And lo and behold, I found my tourniquets. So what I have done is I placed them here where I think I would injure myself enough to need a tourniquet. So there's one hanging by my what do you call it, saw right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put the other one over by the drill bits. I don't know that I would ever need a tourniquet for the drill press, but it's close to the bandsaw. Kind of figure I'm halfway in between. I looked on Amazon, and these same Army issued tourniquets were on Amazon. I'm not smart enough to know how to put the link in there, but if you guys just do a search in Amazon for tourniquets, these ones come up. And what makes these ones nice, and the Army likes them, or I think it's really all branches of the military, I think have converted over to this style tourniquet or something similar. You can pretty much set it so it's at your largest limb. So right now, if I needed to right quick and in a hurry, throw that on my leg, I could. And I can also cinch it down to my arm real fast. And then it's got the handle built in already to twist it. So why and when would you use a tourniquet? You're going to use a tourniquet whenever you're going to lose too much blood before the big red truck gets to your house and fix you up, right? And depending on your medical conditions, some of us will bleed out faster than others just because of different things that happen to us in our older age. And it's probably something you may want to consider talking to your doctor about. What's the downside to a tourniquet? The downside to a tourniquet is, well, you're pretty much at risk of losing anything below that tourniquet once you put it on. But I'm not making this up when I tell you this. The Army teaches anything less than 6 hours after that tourniquet comes off will probably be saved. I saw a soldier's foot as purple as Barney the dinosaur when he came in, and my heart sank. I was happy he was alive, but I asked the surgeon, I said, hey, is he going to lose his foot? And he goes, no, it's been less than 6 hours. I bet I save it. And now we had an awesome field surgical team over there. These guys were top notch. And sure enough, I just sat there and watched this guy for hours and praying for him. You know, he was sedated, but sure enough, all that color came back into his foot. That tourniquet is what saved his life and kept him from bleeding out. So again, Trey, thanks for bringing up that suggestion to put them in the workshop. I've got 2 in there now. I would definitely recommend to the rest of you. You don't have to have that style. There's plenty of different ones out there, but those are super, super easy to use.
Yep.
Hey, Doug, I can tell you from personal experience, when I fell off the horse trailer about 2 years ago, when I put that drill through my wrist, through and through, I could not stop the bleeding. I was smart enough to go to my truck and pull out my old Army tourniquet, put it on, stop the bleeding. And because I live so far away, I drove myself to the hospital with the tourniquet and a plastic bag over the hand. Because, you know, round trip would have been too long of a distance between the hospital, et cetera. But yeah, tourniquet, mine's in the shop, hanging right next to the doggone kitchen door, you know, because my shop's in the garage. So they are definitely a lifesaver.
Yeah, last
Fantastic
year
information.
when I punched my pulmonary vein, automatically ripped off my belt and used that as the tourniquet to stop the bleeding as I took myself to the ER.
Yeah.
I think I have the same one you do here.
Yeah, that looks like it.
Same here.
This came from Amazon.
All right.
Yep. I got the same ones. I ordered them right after that conversation we had. So I got 2 of them in my shop too. And that's the easiest one to do one-handed. That's why the Army likes it so much.
Yeah,
I
they
think,
really
right?
are. And again, rehearse with them, right? Because you can put it on. You don't got to cinch it all the way down to know you're doing it right. But definitely rehearse with it and let somebody else in the house know where it is just in case. And then one other little tip I would add on mine, I have a spot where I could write my blood type on there. Now, obviously, if you get hauled off to the ER, they're going to run a blood type on you anyway if they needed to fill you back up. But if they know ahead of time that I'm O positive, they're probably going to check O positive first, right? I'd rather get them to that answer quicker than make it be the last one. They go, oh, finally found the match.
Right. Yeah, better than trying to find out whether a person's A negative or not.
Yeah. So mine's written right on my tourniquet what my blood type is.
Good.
It wasn't my idea. The Army told me I had to do it, but it kind of makes sense.
Right. Yeah, it helps that we, you know, all of us, you know, current or former military, we've got that training on the tourniquet usage. And, you know, for those that don't, highly recommend familiarizing yourself with how to put on a tourniquet and to stop that bleeding. So, because you just never know, just a freak accident will happen. And, for myself, literally I dropped my marking knife no more than 8 inches off my bench, and it went straight down into my thigh, right into the pulmonary vein. So, and of course, the first reaction is you grab a hold of it and yank it out. So, that made it worse.
Sure it did. Yeah.
And it was just, brown crimson, just shooting. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to go to the hospital for this one.
They don't work for head injuries. Please don't put them on your neck.
No, they don't. No. Shoulders and above, they don't work.
Imagine anyone actually tried that.
Probably.
I'm sure there are.
Only one time.
Yeah.
Me and my younger brother, we got in a pretty good fist fight when we were younger. In the old ways, I was whooping on him pretty good. And I was in the process of building a desk, and there was a dowel on the ground. And when I had him on the ground, I went ahead and grabbed that dowel and applied it to his throat to help him really understand that he upset me. And then the mistake I made was when I got up, I thought he had enough. I decided to let him up. He came up with that dowel and smacked me upside my head with it so hard. And it did. It looked like something out of the cartoons. That blood was just splurting and all over the white wall. Of course, our parents weren't home because my dad would just beat the heck out of both of us. But it looked like somebody had been murdered in our house. The blood was everywhere. So his girlfriend's mom was a nurse at the time. So we call her, and actually he starts screaming, Doug, we're done. You win. I don't care. You win. You're going to die. But it wasn't that bad. It's just, you cut the scalp just right, man. It'll come out. But yeah, so she had to come down, throw a butterfly stitch on my head and everything. But I might have needed a tourniquet around my neck that day, or I thought my dad was going to give me one when he got home anyway.
Guys, I just ordered 2 of them on Amazon. Pack of 2 of them for $14.99.
There you go. Yeah.
Very reasonable price.
Yes. Not expensive.
I would say Band-Aid,
Right.
Brenda, you might need one, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. They were all talking right to me.
Yeah. I hope none of you ever needs one, but I sure hope y'all are prepared to use one. That's what I'll say.
Right.
Be ready.
Can you put the link in the chat, Brenda?
Oh yeah. I even got one in my hunting bag just in case. You never know.
I just went to Amazon and typed in tourniquet. It's the very first one that came up.
Yeah. And when I was looking on there, they got some pretty high speed first aid kits too that I'm looking at getting my boys. Both my sons have really gotten into target shooting, going out to the desert and whatever. They got their cool different guns for Christmas and some other various ones that they've gotten over the years. And of course, even though they're adults, it still makes me nervous when I know they're going out there shooting. And so I was looking at some of the different first aid kits on there that I think they're both fixing to receive. There's 2 different wraps that are well, one's a wrap and one's the other one's called a SAM splint. And the SAM splint is really cool. It's just a soft, flexible piece of metal with a soft coating over it, and it'll conform to your arm or your leg or whatever bone it is that you happen to break. And then there's something called an Israeli wrap. And if you guys see that, that's another really cool, easy first aid piece of equipment to learn how to use. And it doesn't get quite as tight as a tourniquet, but it's very similar. It's more of a pressure bandage, if you will. And you can wrap that thing up if you know you're not like in desperate need of a tourniquet, but you're still bleeding enough to where a Band-Aid's not going to fix it. That's another option that's out there. And when I was looking at the different first aid kits there, I saw both of those in there.
Yeah, best to be over prepared than under prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Safe than
If all
sorry.
else fails, duct tape.
Duct tape.
Duct tape and a piece of paper towel. I mean, I've done
Hey,
it. You've done it.
CA glue
Yeah.
and electrical tape has
I don't
fixed
think so.
many of my razor cuts on my fingers.
Use
That's what
camo
CA
duct
glue
tape
was.
and you never see it.
That's what CA glue was invented for.
Right.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the
Yeah.
other day, this is what I had in my hand. I had a chisel. I had a circular saw blade, like from a skill saw, and resin. And what do you think I cut my finger on? The resin.
The resin.
What I was doing,
Yeah.
it was the saw blade that I keep down in the bottom of my pressure pot, so it's flat. And over time, enough resin spills on it. Well, it's time to scrape it off. And I'm sitting there holding the saw blade, scraping it with the chisel. Of course, my finger straight out, right? The wrong way. And the chisel slipped, and man, my finger went right across that sharp resin. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" So yeah, CA glue and electrical tape and a paper towel. I was good to go.
Yeah.
We may need to rename Brenda's Band-Aid Brigade to Doug Band-Aid Brigade.
Just make them a subsidiary.
There you go. You'll always be the queen. I'll just be your little prince running around. How about
Co-host.
Brenda, we do not want to get into making him a prince. We have seen his outfits in the past.
Yeah, well,
We
what
do
was I
not want
thinking?
to go there.
I'll be your princess.
Probably more appropriate.
Hey, Eddie.
Mary,
we
yes,
gotta-
sir.
Let's go to Glenn. He's got an item he wants to show off. Hey,
All
Glenn.
right, we're wrapping it up. Glenn, what you got?
Do what you want, man.
Here we go.
Hello, Glenn.
Okay, I went outside today. I turned me a little little box. It's out of cherry.
Very nice.
And it's I call it a coffee box, because that way I've made it where you put the little cups from your cherry coffee. That way you can keep them, you can store them in there. And so just a little little box I made with a little walnut top, take it off with. And then
Very nice.
Then for Christmas, I had turned a bunch of small Christmas trees, and I had a piece of cedar left. So I made me a little bitty wing bow. Out of a piece of
That's
cedar.
awesome.
That's cool, Glenn.
Oh,
That's from the crotch of the limb. So it's only about
yeah.
3/4 inches tall, something like that. So
How thin is that?
Did you see the
it's probably
squirrel
about
on the
an eighth,
inside?
about an 1/8 inch thick,
Yeah,
something like that.
gorgeous.
And so-
Can we see the inside again? I think Brenda and I saw a squirrel or a
man.
dragon.
Squirrel. A squirrel.
Squirrel.
This way or this way?
I'd love to do all new flooring in here. I think you can.
Other way, I
That way, yeah. The two white
Yeah, there's a
spots are
dragon
the
in there.
ears.
Yeah, dragon.
There's
Yeah,
a
there
couple
you go.
of,
Chinese
Yes.
dragon.
looks
Chinese
like a couple
dragon,
of
yeah.
snake eyes in there. Hey, Glenn, yes,
I'm looking over your shoulder and I see that double cross with the dove on it. Does that come apart?
no, that's,
Oh, that's cool. In Tarsha piece.
Yeah.
no, it's just, it's a number of pieces, cut out of plywood and put back together, but I bought this at a arts and crafts show.
That's sharp. I like that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Hey,
cool.
Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you have an upside down Jack Daniels bottle hanging over your head up there in the corner?
I
Is it
don't.
empty?
Look
That
at
up there?
That's it. Look.
That's a speaker.
Oh, it looks like an upside down Jack Daniels bottle.
Almost. That's
That's
a
so he
Oh,
can,
yeah.
He's
part
that's so he
of
can
the
lean
whole
back and
sensor.
pull the cork.
His motion sensor.
That's all you do is walk up there and stand under it and give yourself a shot.
Ronnie, is that why you always sit in that recliner so you can lean back there and just pull the cork on that thing?
That's it. That's it.
That's perfect.
My goodness.
That's great.
Well, folks, we're getting into overtime. Oh, we are in overtime. We had a great meeting, really did. We went soup to nuts tonight. And really a great demonstration, a great presentation by Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy. And then we had a great turning demonstration by Johnny Hughes. And we've had some other fill-ins tonight. Really great time. And if you're a new member and you say, how can I be a part of that? If you may have caught this earlier, when there was 3 or 4 people talking about cutting out sound and audio and all, those are all co-hosts. And they got that job by saying, hey, can I help? Can I do something? That's where all these people came from. Everybody in this club is an equal member, and we want you to be part of it. Join us. But until next week, it's time for us to say good night, John Boy.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, everyone.
Hi, Grandpa.
Good night,
everyone.
Have a good one.
Hey, everyone.
Great meeting,
everyone.
Yeah.
Save the chat, save the chat, save the chat.
Night, Uncle Dave.
Hey, Dane, if you got a minute, give me a holler. I'm going to be down your way soon.
Yeah, okay, I'll call you in a bit.
Okay.
Night, y'all.